Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Corpse Factory. It's been a while, it's been a huge hot minute. I know. I'm sorry, I got very sidetracked with other games that get released. There was Madison, then there was The Mortuary Assistant, and there were other games that I wanted to finish because I just had a whole list of them. So it took a while, and as you can probably hear from the background, I don't know if you can, but there is rain, lightning, thunder, all sorts of things happening in the background, and I just thought it would be the perfect setting to play Corpse Factory and get back into it. Now, I want to try to finish this in today's video. I don't know how long this is going to be, but we're going to keep on going until we finish it. I don't know if I'll get all the endings in this video. Oh, there is an endings thing, so I don't know. We'll see. If it goes on for a bit too long, maybe we can get the other endings in a separate video. But for now, I want to complete the game because I don't know. I think it's a good time to finish the game because yay. But I think last time where we left off, I think Kojiro possibly has corpses in his apartment, and he was also, I think he and now Noriko are together, and then there is the blonde girl. I think I was suspicious of her and the best friend. I think it's the best friend out of process of elimination that I did, who's probably the human removal service person. Possibly. I don't know. We'll see. Let's find out. It's been a while since I've played the game. I don't know where I last saved. Was it the last save? I think this is the last time where I stopped playing the game. Alright, let's go with this one. Sure, if I'm wrong, I'd have to play the whole game all over again. Oh yeah, no, Kojiro and Noriko were gonna go on a date, weren't they? Because Noriko promised that they would go on a date if Kojiro killed the other dude, whom I believe might have been in the similar. I think they might have been. He was, because he was together with the best friend. I've quite forgotten their names. I'm so sorry, but I think that was like to show a similarity between those two and Noriko and Kojiro. So I think the person who's killing everyone is Noriko's best friend. That's my theory. I could be wrong. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm up to a date. I just want to see the history of this real quick because log. Here we go. Noriko moves. Is that even possible? Things. All I know is that the dog is still out there, still looking around and worried. Wait, what just happened? The Herald did not kill Junpei. The Herald simply used one of Corpse Girl's tricks and produced a carbon copy body. Okay, I have no memory of this, but that's okay.
I guess it was a good thing you decided to prod and poke Junpei's corpse, as you put it.
Yeah, I forgot who Junpei is, but yeah. Guess so.
I thought you were just being your usual morbid self, taking corpses for your own use, whatever that may be.
Don't know what to tell you.
Might have just been for closet space, you know? Gotta have that. I want to quickly see if there's any other load file around. So there's no quick load file, and that is the latest that I played. So I guess alright, that's sure, okay.
Well, I'm glad you acted.
I'm glad you were the actress.
Faking
Bad
Junpei's
joke.
death.
Hmm.
What's their end goal? What did they really accomplish by pulling such a stunt?
Oh yeah, Junpei wasn't actually killed. When Noriko and Koji went to the thing, they thought Junpei was killed by the Herald, who's also a girl because they were wearing a skirt. But Junpei wasn't killed. It was a different body. Okay, I think that confirms it. I think the human removal service is being run by the best friend. I don't know how annoying the background rain is, but hey, you gotta be unique, you know, nowadays on YouTube, right? Is this unique enough, guys? Rain in the background, it's calming, you know, also, or scary, both of them. There's a million possible answers to that question. Can't know the real truth. Not yet. How do they not connect the dots? How are people so stupid? How is Noriko the brains of this operation if she's so stupid? I'm sorry.
Obvious answer would be that they wanted to deceive us.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
Make us think we have the upper hand.
I came to the same conclusion. They think they've fooled us. But we know better. Can we use that to our advantage?
Yes, find them, stab them in their necks, run away. Easiest way.
Sometimes you're helpful and other times you're just...
What?
Never mind.
Okay.
It irritates her when I withhold my thoughts. Sometimes I act like this just to elicit a reaction from her. She's cute when she's pissed off.
I don't know what we should do next. We're kind of at a dead end, right?
Kind of.
Corpse Girl's website has gone silent. No one is requesting deaths anymore. But if I'm to believe the news, there are still dozens of people being killed all around the city, which means the human removal service is still as active as ever.
Don't beat yourself up. Don't have any cadavers at the morgue anyway. Can't exactly fulfill any requests.
You have plenty of cadavers behind you. Just look behind you. That's all you have to do to find cadavers. But I'm sure you guys don't have eyes behind the back of your eyes. Just like me, you know. She sighs and rubs her eyes. Despite her tired, exhausted appearance, she's dealing with recent events rather well. For Noriko, at any rate.
Can you let me know when the morgue starts filling up again?
Sure. Hang on. There is one body there. Fake Junpei.
Yeah.
Not much use, though, I suppose.
No, not really. Keep me updated.
Okay.
She rubs her eyes again and tries to hold back a
You
yawn.
look wrecked.
Sorry. Things are tough right now.
It'll get better. You'll cause some deaths soon enough.
My words have the strange effect of actually cheering her up slightly. I know we're not exactly the most normal people. Hey, what are you talking about? Everyone goes to their warehouse to kill people. That's very normal, don't you guys? I mean, come on, guys. it's totally fine. Yeah. They are wrong. I don't know what you said, but I'll say yes, sure. There's no other way to put it. I know this. I trust that Noriko knows this as well. We're morbid, sick, disgusting. Noriko slaughters innocent people in the name of Corpse Girl, her fabricated idol, her or alter ego, or whatever else she could be. As for me, I've got so much blood on my hands as Noriko does. She likes to believe she's innocent, but the truth is that she's just as guilty as any killer. I don't see myself the same way. I know for a fact the things I've done are enough to put me behind bars for the rest of my life. I'm wondering if he killed his girlfriend, and then used her corpse to and put her corpse in his closet, like it was mentioned before. I don't try to convince myself that I'm something I'm not. I'm a criminal, plain and simple. But Noriko is a kindred spirit. We're connected on some level that I don't expect the average person to understand. We're bonded by the things we've done, the death we've witnessed. Looking at her now, this tired girl worn by thin stress, I can't help but be reminded of Shizuko. I messed up with Shizuko. I didn't take the time we had together seriously. I took it all for granted. I won't make the same mistake with Noriko. I'll make her mine and I'll prove my love to her every day. This is what a healthy relationship looks like, guys. Definitely 100%, completely a healthy relationship. But giving your complete self to the other person and caring about yourself and caring about what they think, very, very healthy. What do I know? I've never been in one. This is the correct thing, yeah. Perhaps I will convince her to not discard me when I run out of those.
Want something to eat?
She glances at me and opens her mouth, but weighs her words before speaking.
Thanks, but you know me.
I know.
Of course I know. I know so much about her. She doesn't need, not unless she absolutely has to in order to live for another day.
Something light? A salad? I want to share a meal with you.
You're like a meal to me.
I can't.
Okay, I understand.
I do. I get it. It's Noriko. Her convictions are what I admire the most about her. What would it say of her character if I could break her convictions with a simple invitation?
We should get married.
Huh?
A few days ago, you said you'd be mine.
I mean, there are benefits to that. You could probably get tons of discounts everywhere, you know? And also tax stuff, yeah.
I told you something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It's something. Quote or use are the same thing, it's just something.
But that had a condition. You had to kill Junpei.
You know what? That is fair. That is fair. She's right. I didn't manage to kill him. Does that mean I don't deserve her?
Maybe there's something else I could do?
Sweep her off her feet with a crane and probably some matchsticks.
Let me prove that I'm a man you can love.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that was nice grumbling lightning.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Okay. I'll take that. It's better than an outright no.
Maybe you should get going for now. I need to sleep.
Okay.
I leave her be. Should get some sleep myself.
Later.
Laters. Later, alligator.
Kojiro.
Kojiro. Something about the way she says my name sends a chill down my spine. Ooh, that was probably audible on the microphone. I should have probably said that this video is probably not... Well, basically, this huge movie, I don't know how long it's going to be, probably like 3 hours long. It's not going to be thunder friendly. Thunderphobia friendly. It's not a pleasant sensation. It's not a feeling of elation or excitement. It's uncomfortable, disconcerting. Now, do you regret the choice you've made in a partner? I mean, the other girl, I've forgotten her name. Western-looking girl could have been way more of a better option, even though she's with someone else. But hey, I'm sure he won't mind, you know. I shrug it off and leave the factory. All right, bye. Oh, what's happening? I have an uncannily vivid recollection of dragging Shizuko's corpse through the streets on the night that she was killed. Oh. I had witnessed the collision. I watched, speechless, as the asshole who ran her down drove away like a coward. You coward! It took me a while to gather the strength to collect her crumpled body from the asphalt. By then, it was around 7 o'clock. The sun had set, but a sliver of light still peeked over the horizon, tinting the sky with an orange hue. People kept screaming at me. Wasn't doing anything wrong. Wasn't trying to smear Shizuko's blood on the sidewalk. Shizuko. I just wanted to take her home. She was hurt or dead. No point leaving her in the middle of the road. Yeah, why would you leave her there, huh? She didn't comment on my suit. Got all dressed up for her. Didn't comment on the ring. Even as I slipped it on her stiff finger. She couldn't say a word about the size of the diamond. But she made a unique sound as we walked. It rings in my ears now and then, especially when I catch myself in quiet moments. I don't think that's her making the noise. I think that's you making her make the noise, because technically you're pulling her body in the road, and you know. Didn't know what it was at the time. It punctured the silence between the heavy footsteps. Turns out the sound was caused by the fabric of her dress stretching and ripping against the coarse texture of the sidewalk. She made the sound for the entire journey home. My footsteps, thud, thud, Shizuko, people screaming, ah, yeah! The cacophony of irritating noise assaulted us during the entire expedition. Silence didn't rear its head until we arrived at our destination. Wouldn't the police kind of like follow the blood trail left by the body and by other people screaming? Maybe. It wasn't easy getting her up the stairs to my apartment. I'd carried her in my arms dozens of times, always effortlessly, but during the final ascent, Shizuko's weight exceeded the limit of my muscles. I had no choice but to drag her up slowly, a single step at a time. It wasn't my fault her head cracked against every step. Kind of your fault. You could just, put a pillow on her head, maybe. Once we were inside, I finally had the opportunity to examine the damage. Her limbs were flattened, her chest had caved in, ribs crushed and ground into a fine dust. Remarkably, her beautiful face still remained unmarred. She looked at peace despite having died in pure agony not long before. And that was the last time I kissed her. Ugh. I mean, ooh, hey, yeah. I planted my lips on hers and found comfort in the slight warmth that still remained. And then I closed her eyes. And then she became a mannequin in your closet, huh? My memory of that event is so clear that thinking about it feels like I'm reliving it again for the first time. The pain hasn't dulled, but I'm glad I don't live in that apartment anymore. Climbing those steps every day would only serve to remind me of dragging Shizuko's body behind me. I cut myself free from the chains that shackled me to her, but I can never destroy the memories. I think they'll haunt me to the very end of my days. Perhaps that's why I'm so desperate to fill the void she left in my life. I'm desperate to distract myself with a love from another. And yet, at that time, I didn't want to let her go. I wanted to hold her cold, lifeless corpse into my body and simply waste away so I could join her in the afterlife. In fact, I was so attached to her corpse that I did something I'd never done before. Not once in all my history of toying with dead bodies. I decided to keep her. How are the police in this world so incompetent? I don't know whether it was out of desperation or depression or desperation. Don't really know why I decided to do such an odd thing. Possessed by a single disturbing idea, I emptied out the small storage closet in that old apartment, discarded everything within, and then I carefully, delicately, lovingly placed Shizuko inside the dark space. She stood up against the wall almost casually, almost like she was alive. I held her in place with some ropes fastened on the wall, a loop around her neck and a few bindings around her waist. She sagged a little, but it wasn't overly noticeable. Yeah, no, that's very noticeable. That's extremely noticeable, but hey, you know what? That's relative. Everyone sees sag differently. There, Shizuko stood before me. Though her gaze was lowered, I could almost fool myself into thinking that she wanted to greet me, or she wanted to simply say goodbye. Goodbye. Something I'd never considered saying to her, but I knew it was time to say goodbye to her, and to say goodbye to myself. The me that shared a life with her. The me that lived in shame of the things I'd done. Into that small storage room, I piled the evidence of my guilt. All the macabre and sickening paraphernalia I'd collected over the years found a new home within that dark space. Photos of corpses, tomes written about embalming and mummification, countless books by Noble Sinclair, that author I held so dearly to my heart. Everything and everyone that made up Kojiro found itself inside that room. And with one last look at the girl, I slammed the door and locked it tight. The ceremonial act of locking away everything I once loved had a cathartic effect, but the moments after that aren't as clear in my mind. I know that I sealed up that room and concealed the door, but I don't recall the effort that went into doing so. I know that I decided to leave the apartment behind, but I don't recall talking to the lab. The body is still in Noriko's apartment. That could be why mold is everywhere. Okay. I know that I tried to move on from being the person I once was, but I don't know how much I truly changed. Oh no. Okay. Because it's over a year later, I'm still in this world, taking part in truly disturbing acts. I'm still obsessed with the dead, and I'm still fawning over Noriko. Maybe people can change after all. Maybe the reason he's looking at Noriko as Shizuko is maybe because Noriko is living in Shizuko's apartment, or his old apartment, and Shizuko is over there. So in a way, he thinks Noriko Shizuko, and he also did say that Noriko also acted like Shizuko, but maybe that's just him putting his mindset on her. Oh god, I pressed some things. Maybe I've been fooling myself all this time into thinking that I'm different now, but I'm not. I'm the same as I always was. I'm still just Kojiro. Maybe that's okay. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Maybe. Oh boy. I'm basically a professional at corpses now,
Really? What is it?
A few new cadavers were in the morgue when I arrived tonight.
Ah,
Also, I was thinking
what about?
something funny. We went to such lengths to make sure we didn't get caught stealing cadavers from here.
And?
Well, It's amusing that the entire place was ransacked by the human removal service, but no one ever investigated.
Yeah, that is kind of suspicious. Okay, the police in this world are just so incompetent. I have to say, even with that dude's dad being the head of police, he must be very, very, very bad.
No one here seemed to really care.
Yeah.
We tried so hard to cover our tracks, being careful about every single corpse we lifted. Then those assholes just waltzed in and stole everything without any repercussions.
Yeah,
I want to bring them down.
All right.
yeah.
Anyway, how many bodies came in today?
4. Not a great deal, but a start. Give it a week or two, and this place should be packed once more.
You hear that thunder, guys? It knows something, doesn't it?
Okay, good. Thanks for letting me know.
Of course.
See you.
Deep, dark depth of thunder.
Later.
I've already cataloged the new arrivals. I figure I can relax for the rest of my shift. I plant myself on the uncomfortable steel chair parked near the morgue's entryway. A few moments later, I'm lost within the flashing lights from my phone screen. Don't know how long I was zoned out for, but when I come to, Noriko's name is emblazoned across my screen. Strange for her to call me now, since we spoke just before.
Yo,
You're not going to believe this.
Oh.
try me.
Somebody requested a death.
Oh yay! That explains the excitement in her voice.
Congrats. It's been a while.
It's been far too long. I thought we were done for. I thought Corpse Girl's website had fallen into obscurity.
I mean, it's just one request. It's not gonna, you're still obscure. You're still, your dreams have all shattered and broken. But hey, glad you're happy.
Happy for you.
Kojiro, we can't let this slip through our fingers. We need a victory here. This new request...
Oh, I keep unconsciously pressing the space bar.
I want this victim to die with a bang.
Get a gun.
I want
Or
his
fireworks.
death to propel Corpse Girl's name back into the limelight.
Roger. Awaiting your orders.
I'm sending you the Vic's photo. Get me a corpse that matches his appearance, just like usual.
What if, they have like 4 corpses, right? Plus 1. So, what if it doesn't match the victim? What are you gonna do then?
Only
Beep
got a
beep to
handful
you
of bodies here.
too, car on the
Remember?
road.
Going to be a long shot.
Do whatever the fuck you have to do.
Alright. Her icy cold command leaves no room to be misinterpreted.
Copy that.
Copy that. The call ends and I immediately receive a message from Noriko. Opening up reveals the photo of Corpse Girl's latest victim. Male, mid-30s or so, fairly unremarkable guy. Let's see what bodies are in stock. I heave myself off the street chair and log into the morgue's computer. Scanning through the inventory only takes a few seconds. There are 5 cadavers here in total, the 4 that have arrived today, plus the Junpei Matsumoto lookalike. Looking through the details reveals that of the 5, 3 are female and 2 are male. I immediately rule out the Junpei lookalike corpse for this request. It's a heavy-set body and doesn't match the victims at all. Just chop off the heavy part. Easy. I'll need to take a look at the other male, but I don't like the odds of finding a match. I navigate to the cold chambers and open up the cache housing in the corpse in the question. The cold air spewing forth from the open compartment fogs up my glasses. I calmly remove them, wipe them against my coat, and return them to their rightful place. After unzipping the body bag, I am met with the face of death, a sight I have become more than accustomed to after many long years of working here. This guy is just as average looking as Corpse Girl's victim. Seems like the type of person you wouldn't notice in a crowd. He'd simply be a blur against a sea of bodies. Might be exactly what we need. What if he's caught? What if he's caught getting the corpse out in his last moment? I compare his features to those of the victim in the photo. He looks similar, couldn't exactly mistake him for a relative, but maybe with a bit of Noriko's makeup handiwork, he might pass off as a close enough copy. Only one problem. Unzipping the body bag further reveals that this guy only has one arm. His left arm has been severed just below the elbow, leaving a surgical stump. It's something that he has clearly lived with for years because this area in question is clean. Probably had a prosthetic limb before being moved to the morgue. This particular feature is a deal breaker, too hard to convince the victim that his own corpse if it's missing a limb. Although, perhaps Noriko could factor the missing limb into the cause of death. If I bloodied the stump a bit, it could be made to look like he lost an arm before he died. I reach for my phone and call Noriko back, getting sick of the chit chat.
You find a suitable corpse?
Almost. Got a guy about the same age and build. Plain face. Needs some work, but could do the job.
Great! I'll send Tomoe over with the van right away.
Tomoe, that's her name. I definitely didn't think Noriko was Tomoe.
Just one thing.
What?
The body is missing an arm.
Oh, that is a problem.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
Can you edit the corpse photo so that the victim is missing an arm? Make it look like it got chopped off before he died. That way, when he receives the actual corpse, he'll be expecting a missing limb.
No.
What? What the fudge, Noriko? What?
No?
I'm already in the middle of making the photo. I'm not changing it now.
Then I don't know what to tell you.
Wow. What a stuck-up... Wow. She's a bitch. She's an absolute bitch. I'm sorry. Noriko... Why? You piece of pancake.
Don't have any other suitable bodies.
Make it work, Kojiro.
Wow. I started off liking Noriko and even accepting that she has flaws and even trying to sympathize with her, but now she's just being a whole big old B word. That venomous tone again. Like, I understand where it's coming from. Like, this is her character change and development, and that's good. Like, the fact that I think that she's a big old B is good. That's like the game doing its job, and the writer is doing a really well job of making her seem like that. But still, she's a big old B.
What can I do? Not going to roam the street and kill someone that looks like the Vic.
Come up with something else then.
What, like cutting off your own arm?
Hell, chop your own arm off and attach it to the
Shouldn't have
corpse.
said that.
I don't care what you do.
Shouldn't have said that. Oh no. Oh no. He's actually gonna do that, isn't he? He's actually gonna... Well... Well, alright.
But I need the body within the hour.
Wow.
If you let me down, I'll never be with you.
Wow.
Our relationship is tied to Corpse Girl's fate. If you let her down, you'll let me down. And I don't like being let down.
My phone beeps twice as if to protest Noriko abruptly ending the call.
Fantastic.
She likes backing me into corners. What am I supposed to do? It's clear that she doesn't really have any intention of being with me. She's using me, dangling the promise of something I desire right in front of me. And yet, I need to have her. I need to prove to her that she should be with me. I lower my glasses and gently rub my brow with my fingers.
Shit.
I've got an idea. But I can't believe I'm about to do this. I slide my glasses back up to adjust them so they're comfortable once more. Oh no, he's gonna cut off his own arm. He's gonna cut off his... Please don't cut off your own arm. Please don't. Please don't do this. Please, Kojiro, don't be stupid. Don't. No, Kojiro, I am begging you. I know you're not real. I know it's a cozy game that you don't exist. But please, don't cut off your own arm. I fetch my mobile mortuary lift and angle it underneath the tray protruding from the open cold chamber. Why can't you just cut off another person's arm? You could cut off one of the girl's arm or like the Junpei corpse arm. Yeah, you could probably put an arm there. Like if a person's not gonna notice if an arm is slightly too big for the body. I mean, you could deliver it in the body bag to not show the arm. There are so many ways around this. With a great deal of effort, I detach the tray from the chamber. It rests upon the top of the mortuary lift, allowing me to wheel the corpse across the morgue. After pushing it halfway across the open room, I let the wheels come to a stop directly underneath one of the ceiling's glaring fluorescent lights. With that done, I turn and rummage around the cabinet. I sort through a number of tools until I find what I'm looking for. Okay. Alright. He's probably not going to chop off his arm. He's probably going to take it from a corpse. But even if he chops an arm from himself or a corpse, or anyone else, it's still going to be mismatching. Like, you know, it doesn't matter which arm he takes, it's still gonna mismatch. So just take it from like some other corpse, right? I'm saying that he's not gonna chop off his arm, but I think the game's gonna go there. And I dislike this so much. Don't chop off your arm, Kojiro. Your arm is too much needed. Clutching the sterile implement in shaking hand, I returned to the corpse lying atop the steel tray. Oh, Kojiro, no.
For Noriko.
No, Rico.
Here goes.
No. Oh. There's no point chopping off your own arm. Why? Why? When the metal bone saw digs into the soft flesh of my arm, I have to grit my teeth to refrain from screaming. I angle the blade so that it cuts away from my elbow. Need to leave it intact. The cutting process is pure agony. To prevent myself passing out, I keep my breathing steady and try to focus on something simple. Something my brain can handle while aflame with pain. I begin to count. 1, 2, 3. I count the seconds that it takes for the jagged metal saw to reach bone. 15, 16. Still just flesh and blood spurting down my coat. 21, 20. I think I reached sinew after 24 seconds, but it's hard to tell because that's a terrible numbness that is somehow worse than my original searing agony. My fingers clutching the saw begin to slip due to perspiration, and it's getting harder to even hold the tool. After some 32 odd seconds, the saw hits bone. Oh! Oh! I slided back and forth, cutting into the dense matter with as much strength as my failing body can muster. Vomit and drool have soaked the front of my coat and begun to smear together with the blood. It's forming a shallow pool at my feet, and stench of the mixing liquids threatens to overwhelm my senses. Counting the seconds has become infinitely more difficult. 43, 44, 30. Wasn't it 21 seconds so far? No, it's been longer than that. It has to have been a minute by now. I've been sawing into my arm my own arm for a full minute, but the blade still hasn't cut through all of the bone. Don't recall when I fell to my knees. Don't recall when I stood back up. Oh no. Don't recall running my slimy fingers through my hair, or when flecks of blood splattered against my glasses, or when my bladder relieved itself. Again, there's no point to this because your arm's not going to match either way. Kojiro! Why is everyone in this game so stupid? Don't even recall why I'm doing this. Is it for Shizuko? Is it because I love her? No. Noriko. It's for Noriko, actually. It's for Corpse Girl. I have to prove I'm worthy of her. I have to be loved by her. Corpse Girl is not gonna love you. There's nothing else for me. 97, 98. As my count reaches 99 seconds, my arm falls to the wet tiled floor, flopping like a dead fish against the deck of a boat. I let out a groan. Oh. Groan of what can only be called relief, and I slump in on myself, resting in the pool of foul liquid. My vision is blurry, my breathing is ragged. The same part of my consciousness knows that I need to treat my wound. I need to apply a tourniquet or cauterize the damage, or I'm just going to bleed out and die in the floor of my own morgue. But a quiet voice in my mind, the very same one that drove me to such an extreme measure, urges me to finish my work. Getting to my feet is a struggle. I try to push myself off the ground using both arms, but of course, I fall flat on my I fall flat on my face when my right arm fails to react to my mental instructions. I think the lenses in my glasses smash against the tiles because the eyes seem to be bleeding now. A second attempt at pushing off the ground is more successful. My left arm is somehow strong enough to hoist my barely responsive body. I sway and stagger around aimlessly before collecting myself enough to attempt to fish my severed arm off the ground. Luckily, I managed to grasp the blood and vomit-soaked wrist of my former limb with my one good hand. I drag myself towards the mortuary lift that holds aloft the corpse I need to attach my arm to. But I didn't think this through. I don't really know how to attach a severed limb. I bludgeon the corpse's stump with my useless arm, trying to find some point of connection that will magically fuse the limb to the corpse. It's hopeless. And as I madly flail the arm around, I can't help but laugh at the whole situation. Of course I can't attach my arm to this corpse. The corpse is missing its left arm. I cut off my right arm.
Why is everyone in this game so stupid?
Good one.
Again, I realize that this is supposed to show his emotion, like he's not able to think in the situation as he has to do it. The more he thinks, he won't be able to cut his arm off. But still, why are people so stupid? Why are people so stupid? Why are people so stupid? I throw my useless detached arm behind me and rest my weary body against the mortuary lift. Accompanying my laughter is the laughter of someone else nearby. I have to listen really intently to confirm that I'm not just hallucinating. But I'm certain that somebody just walked into my line of vision, even if they're nothing more than a dark, blurred silhouette.
Yo, bro. You don't look so hot.
Fuck this dude. I swear to God. Punch him with your right arm. Oh, right. You don't have that arm anymore.
What'd you do? Cut off your own arm?
I know the voice, but I can't place it right now. It's not my voice, and it's not Noriko's voice.
Want me to take the pain away?
Yes. Please. I'd give anything to remove the pain. I can't voice my consent. My mouth is dry, my jaw locked in place.
Here. Nothing a little fire can't fix.
The figure comes closer. He smells foul, like a dog that has bathed in gasoline. A dog. The heavyset figure that I now assume is Junpei Matsumoto is crouched over me. The smell of gasoline intensifies as he pours some sort of cold liquid all over my clothes.
Pity I gotta light this place up. But you guys didn't get the hint when we stole all of your corpses. Well, you ain't gonna be nothing without your precious morgue. And Corpse Girl is gonna wither away without her right-hand man. Right hand.
Ha ha! Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha!
Get a good
Ha ha!
job.
The way to deliberately mispronounce my name really bothers me. It bothers me so much that the anger boiling inside me gives me the strength to open my mouth once more.
It's Kojiro. Sure, bro. Sleep tight.
The dog lifts his body and disappears into oblivion beyond my sight. The unmistakable sound of a match being struck should fill me with panic, but I feel strangely calm. Warm, glowing tendrils of flame flicker around the outskirts of my vision. Fire. The ambulance sound in the background is very apt for this. The entire morgue is alight. The acrid smell of smoke quickly covers up the odor of gasoline. Fire. Well, what do you expect? I lost my family to fire so many years ago. Maybe it's fitting that I should perish in the same way. Fire. I hate fire. I hate it and fear it. Fire. It's everywhere, surrounding me. The sickening stench of burning flesh permeates my nostrils, and I realize that it's the smell of my severed arm being incinerated behind me. Fire. Oh God. I close my eyes. I like the effect that they've done here. It's like burning. It's like a burning effect that's all over. Really sleepy right now. And now there's a thunder in the background. Lost a lot of blood after all.
Sorry, Noriko. Sorry I loved you.
That is sort of your fault. That is true. Ooh, deeper thunder. Yeah, no, the thunder definitely knows. The sky knew. The sky knew what was gonna happen, wasn't it? Oh gosh. Oh gosh, what's going to happen? Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh no. Seriously though, I wasn't Aoi. Aoi is the best friend, isn't she? He actually dies? No. No, 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 no. I'm gonna save quickly. There's no more save spots. I'm gonna I'll redo that save. What? No. Kojiro dies? No. No. Why? No. No, I thought does not get out. Maybe he gets out. Okay, maybe he gets out. Yeah, maybe he gets out. Maybe he does get out to the hospital or something like that. Ooh, I'm so mad. I really wish I could scream at him. I really, really, really want to scream. but he's one of my best customers. I just wish he would take the rules seriously.
I said no free refills.
Honk, 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 honk. The squeak of my voice surprises even me. Gosh, I've never yelled at a customer before. It feels so liberating. I feel free. The customer hangs his head. He looks guilty as I feel on the inside. Oh gosh, I shouldn't have raised my voice at him. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I'm gonna get fired for this. I just know it.
Sorry, Miss Aoi. I'll never ask again, I promise.
I somehow doubt that, but sure.
Make sure you don't.
Oh, where's the regret that you were feeling? Gone now, huh? That's it. Don't let him see you back down. Be firm. No, wait. Be firm, girl. Stand up for yourself. The customer scurries away and I nearly faint from the adrenaline pounding through me. What a rush. I can't believe I didn't back down.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Yeah, very deep breaths. I still suspect Aoi. When I feel like I've calmed down, I fetch a cloth and begin to wipe down some tables. This place hasn't seemed too busy lately, and I still shake when I think about the innocent incident last month that drove away a lot of our customers. That man, that tall, scary man with glasses and an evil face. He hurt my sweet little Junpei. Confirmed! It's Aoi. It's Aoi. It is Aoi. He cornered him in this very cafe and stabbed his fingers with cutlery. What kind of sick freak does such a thing? I know there's something between those two. I can't ever forget the time that the man left Junpei all bruised and broken on the ground outside his apartment. Grrr. I hate that man. Who does he think he is, bullying my sweetheart? A pleasant little chime rings out from my pocket, and I recognize it is the notification I set to let me know when the cafe is closing.
Phew. Guess I better get going.
Interesting. So, I was sort of right about the mirroring. So, I mentioned before that Aoi and Junpei's relationship is a mirror of Noriko's and Kojiro's relationship to show how they're kind of similar people. But interestingly, I think Aoi is a mirror of Kojiro in this case, because she loves the other dude a lot, and I think the other dude is just insane, like Noriko. So I think that's the mirror in this relationship, which is interesting, very interesting. Luckily for me, I'm not on closing duty tonight. My co-workers will take care of that. I mean, of course, it could just be their own relationship. It doesn't have to be a mirror of Aoi and Kojiro, but it sort of is, just because, you know, Junpei is like what's it called? Junpei is like, quote unquote, the dog for the Herald. I mean, okay, I'm assuming that Noriko, I'm assuming that Aoi is the human removal service Herald. I could be wrong, but hey, guilty until proven, right? Yeah. All I need to do is sign out of the employee app on my phone, and my full shift will be automatically recorded. Then I'll get paid on time, just like usual.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Ubu. I wave a farewell to the other girls and duck out the front door. Should I go through the back door? I guess not. As usual, my cute little honeybees awaiting me outside.
Sup, baby doll?
Sup, baby doll? Hey, guys, going? You want to burn some bodies tonight? Yeehaw!
Junpei.
I rush into his arms and give him a big, snuggly cuddle.
I'm so happy to see
Again,
you.
I have no clue what a cuddle is. Like, the most I know is that it's a hug, but long. That's all I know. That's all I know of what a cuddle is. Yeah. So she hugs him, but for long.
Of course, babe. I'm always here for you.
Yeah, always here for you, huh?
How was your shift?
Not so bad.
Glad to hear it. Guess things really have changed around here.
Yep. It's so much better since the old manager left.
You killed him, didn't you?
Good, good. You come tell Junpei if anyone else gives you trouble, yeah?
I will.
I nuzzle into his broad chest and immediately feel safe and warm.
Can I come back to your place?
Yes.
He holds my hand and leads me towards the train station. I'm so excited to be with him again. I don't know if they updated the game, but I feel like the distance between the text and the logs have become a bit different. Might just be me, though. Might just be me. Ooh, nice
Would
apartment.
you like tea, my dear?
Whoa now, Sugar Plum, you've been serving drinks to people all day. You go kick your feet up and I'll do the brewing.
You know what? That's actually pretty sweet. Hey, maybe we got Junpei the wrong side. And I'm gonna regret saying that in just a second, aren't I? Junpei's so thoughtful. Every word he says makes it clear how much he cares for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. I heed his instructions and nestle myself comfortably into the sofa. As I wait for him to finish up the kitchen, I scroll through my noise feed. I don't have many friends on here, mainly just family members, but I still like to see what everyone is up to lately. Plus, Junpei always shares funny memes and pics on his profile, so I love seeing those. After scrolling for a minute, I come across a status update from a friend I haven't heard from in a while. Noriko Kurosawa. No Kurosawa. 2 hours ago. Hi.
What does that mean?
Her entire post is short and meaningless. It just says HEI3. Hi. Okay. What on earth could she mean by that? When was the last time I talked to Noriko anyway? She used to call me all the time. I used to call her too. But somewhere along the line we fell out of touch. Isn't this just like a couple of months apart from when you and Noriko were talking? It's like 2 months apart. I mean, that's a pretty fast, drop of a friendship. After I introduced her to Junpei, I kind of got the feeling she was jealous. Jealous? Noriko always had feelings for me. Maybe being introduced to my boyfriend really hurt her. Could be true. Could be true. Another ambulance. Now I'm just wondering if someone else in there from the game. Maybe Tomoe went in the ambulance too. Who knows?
Your tea, my love.
Now I feel terrible. Junpei sits down to two teacups on the small coffee table in front of the sofa. Steam rises slowly from both cups. The sight and its scent immediately relaxes me.
Thank you, Pumpkin.
He's definitely a pumpkin. Very sweet. Junpei scoots under the sofa right next to me and he leans his head on my shoulder. I raise my hand and run it through his hair as I continue scrolling through noise with my other hand. A post from a guy I went to school with, Shinya Fujikawa, grabs my attention. Shinya with a capital S, Fujikawa. 5 hours ago. One step closer to solving the mystery of the deaths around Tokyo. Helping my father, Senior Detective Fujikawa, collect evidence from the crime scenes. It's like a dream come true. Thank you, father! Interesting, I think Shinya always wanted to be a detective. Come to think of it, we were supposed to work together at Temujin. Shinya lined up the job for me and I...
Who's this dude?
Just the person that you're cheating with. I mean, nothing. Junpei's gaze is fixated on Shinya's profile picture.
Oh, Shinya?
I tap on his pic and load his full profile.
We went to school together.
I scan through his profile and read some more of his recent posts. 2 days ago, my father has enlisted me to help him with the top secret investigation. Can't divulge any further information. My lips are sealed. Top secret. And yet he revealed it like 2 days later. So, very top secret. Much secret, very top. 4 days ago, so happy that I managed to get a lead on the case. I submitted some information to the detective in charge of the serial murders around Tokyo, who happened to my father, and he said I can join the investigation team as probationary member.
This guy has a real father complex, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe.
7 days ago, no one tells you what to expect when you experience Oh! No one tells you how hollow and empty you will feel. It's important to throw yourself into your work. I will do so. You know what? It's a bad way to do it, but sure, whatever works for you, my dude.
Heartbreak. Something about this dude tells me he's never had a girlfriend in his life.
I wonder...
Shinya, 8 days ago, farewell, my love. I'm sorry I couldn't be the man you wanted me to be. To Tomoe Watanabe, my soulmate, my other half, my one and everything. Please forgive me!
Jeez. Have some dignity, dude.
The heck?
Wow. He really likes to share everything, doesn't he? I swear, he never used to be this dramatic.
He was always this dramatic. What are you talking about? He even did blackmail. Junpei yawns and puts his arm around me. A classic move. He's so sweet and romantic. I put my fold down and snuggle into his body. He's like a big, soft teddy bear. I've completely forgotten if it was a month later after Kojiro's death or a month before. If it's after, that means Tomoe broke up with Shinya after that. So interesting.
I should get going once I finish this cup of tea.
Uh-huh.
Really? Do you have to go?
Yeah, sorry, babe. I gotta check in on Mom tonight.
Oh, okay.
You'll be okay, right?
Thought of being alone forms a pit in my stomach.
Don't worry. I'll help you out before I leave.
Thank you.
Junpei takes one last sip of his tea and gets to his feet.
I'll check the usual stuff.
Yes, please.
I don't like the way she said that. Suspiciousness. He walks behind the sofa and ruffles my hair, and with his rough hand, the bandages wrapped around his fingers feel coarse against my scalp. As he wanders around my small apartment, he calls out to me.
Oven and stovetop are both switched off. The kitchen tap is off, no drips.
Interesting. He moves into the bathroom and his voice echoes against the tiled wall.
Tap is off in here too. And the shower is off.
Finally, he moves to the front door.
I'll lock this door properly when I walk out. You just have to put the deadbolt in place, okay?
Okay.
Interesting. Why did he do that?
Thank you.
Anytime, sugar. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Love.
Love! With that, Jimmy walks out the door and closes it behind him. I quickly dash from the sofa to the door and slide the deadbolt in place.
All done. The door is locked. The door is locked. The door is locked.
I take a deep breath and tiptoe back to the sofa, then collapse onto it. Junpei is so good to me. He truly helps me out. When I'm alone, I find it so hard to be sure that everything is in order. I can't sleep or leave the apartment. If there's a possibility that I've left the tap running or an appliance switched on, I can't relax if I think the door might be unlocked. I have to check on things again and again until there's no shadow of a doubt that things are the way they should be. I don't remember when this obsessive compulsive behavior first started, but I've been battling it for so long as I can recall. At the very least, when Junpei is here, he checks everything for me. He's so good to me. It saves me so much time. It stops me from having to stand in front of the kitchen sink for 5 minutes constantly checking and double checking if the tap is running. Logically, I know it's easy to see if the water is flowing from the faucet. You can see it, you can hear it, and you can feel it if you slip your hand underneath the flow. But logic rarely applies when I find myself second-guessing my own senses. I can glance at the faucet and tell myself that it's been turned off properly. It's not dripping. But when I turn away, what if I'm wrong? What if it's actually still running? I feel like my mind is betraying me. I feel like I can't trust anything I see or hear. When in doubt, it should be a simple matter of just quickly checking it one more time. But the more I check, the less certain I become. And it's not just the faucet I have trouble dealing with. It's nearly everything. I unplugged appliances from the power sockets to make sure they're definitely still not running. I flick the light switches on and off 20 times in a row to ensure I haven't left a bulb on when I leave a room. I open and close the doors repetitively and lock to the worst. Had to examine them from every possible angle to convince myself that no one can possibly break in. The condition is completely and utterly screwed up. Struggling against it has caused other horrible afflictions to evolve inside of me. Anxiety, depression, self-hatred. I just feel like I can't do anything without the shadow of my compulsive behaviors looming over me and controlling me. And so tonight, like many other nights, I decided to sleep right where I am, here on the sofa. Getting up and going into my bedroom is too much effort. Sleeping where I am is just much, much easier. I began to drift off, my face planted against the sofa cushion, my legs draped over the armrest. Okay. I used to do that too. But then I haven't sat on a sofa in a very long while, so... I'm thankful I don't have to work at the maid cafe today. My neck is a little sore from a terrible night's sleep, but I won't let that get me down. It's Monday, the start of a fresh, brand new week. I've got lots of exciting things to look forward to. For starters, I'm expecting delivery of some items I ordered online over the weekend. It's almost snack food, but still I can't wait. Secondly, I get to see my Junpei again this afternoon. I'm going to meet him when he finishes work. Third, my favorite anime airs on Monday nights. There's a new episode of every week. Well, except for when they run repeats after a session has just finished. Junpei loves anime as much as I do. Granted, he's not into my favorite series. He said it's a little too girly, but he likes a lot of the other shows. We have so much fun discussing characters and stories we like, even if the shows he watches scare me a little bit. Yes, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good week. Oh. My upbeat mood is instantly shattered when Noriko Kurosawa's name lights up on my phone screen. She's calling me? We haven't spoken for so long. Why? What does she want from me? Noriko, she's such a chore. She whines and complains so much about her life, but she doesn't know how good she has it. So what if she's scared of leaving her apartment? Agoraphobia isn't that bad. I'm scared of everything. Everything! She's so selfish. Thinks she's the only one who has it rough. I'm so tired of tiptoeing around her feelings and her stupid sensitivities.
Hello? Aoi? Hi, Noriko. Hey, listen. I know it's been a while, but can I stay at your place for a few days? I got booted out of my apartment for not paying the rent, and, well, I was living in this abandoned factory, but I can't do it anymore. I hate being there alone. The guy I was spending time with just disappeared, and now...
So it is a month afterwards, okay.
Aoi? Are you there?
Is this crazy bitch for real? She hasn't spoken to me for weeks, months! And now she wants to live in my apartment?
Aoi? Sorry, Noriko. You can't stay here. Well, fuck you too.
My phone beeps twice and the call abruptly ends. What the hell is her problem? Before I can even blink, she calls me again. I'm hesitant to answer this time, but...
Noriko? Sorry, I overreacted. I think I'm in trouble. I think Corpse Girl is trying to kill me, and I need somewhere safe to stay.
Corpse Girl is trying to kill her? I think Noriko has finally lost the plot. Whatever sliver of sanity she once held onto has finally slipped between her fingers.
Noriko, Corpse Girl isn't trying to kill you. What? How would you know? You are Corpse Girl. Remember?
Oh, and the plot drops. Here we go, guys. The moment we've all been waiting for. Here we go. Exactly an hour in, on my recording at least. Holy crap, the timing of this.
What? How do you... I'm the one who wants to kill you.
Oh.
I'm going to fucking murder you and your
What the fuck? Oh my god. What is this? Holy crap, this is like a bomb drop. Noriko's silence convinces me that her memory is returning. Perhaps she called me in some delirious state or because of some fever dream.
Shit.
The call disconnects as she curses. That stupid bitch. Did she seriously forget who she was talking to? I've had it up to here with her. As soon as Junpei works at the location of her factory, I'm gonna go there myself and slit her throat open with my fingernails. I let her bleed out all over me and tell her that she never meant a thing to me. I don't care how much she loves me. I'll end her life quickly before she has a chance to confess her feelings with one last gasping, dying breath. Once Noriko is dead, the human removal service will no longer have any competition, and I'll finally be able to take her place as Corpse Girl. Technically, the human removal service has no competition at all. I doubt Noriko is even being able to do anything without Kojiro, so you know. Why is everyone insane in this story now? Oh god. During our school years, I was always envious of Noriko. She was so beautiful, so slim and graceful, and she had a wonderful family. Parents had loved her more than anything. I never had any of that. I wanted so badly to be her. I struggled with my weight back then, but that wasn't the worst of it. I had an abusive mother and a father that essentially ignored my existence. Well, until he killed me by splitting my neck open. Wait, what? Wait, you're dead? What? I would have given anything to trade places with Noriko and feel alive again. It didn't matter to me that Noriko complained about every aspect of her life. She moaned about how much she despised her delinquent sister. She griped about how her father walked out on her, but still sent her a birthday card every year. She lamented over the time her mother tried to kill herself in front of her and her sister, how her mother hung from the ceiling, barely alive, for hours and hours until Yuriko figured out how to call for an ambulance. That's what's messed up Noriko. I mean, there might be an issue in her family, but also seeing that her mother hang from a ceiling, that will mess up any child's mind. Like, holy crap. But I would have taken all of that trauma over my own upbringing. I'd have traded my life for hers without a second thought. Noriko had no idea how lucky she was. Even after all these years, I never really overcame my envy of her. I even went so far as to request her death through Corpse Girl's website. Of course she didn't die. How could she have? Junpei figured it out before I did. He forced his way into the Corpse Girl's website and viewed all of the death requests. Somehow Noriko had placed a comment on the request I submitted. A single line of text never intended to be seen by other eyes. That's me, biatch. Knowing that she had become Corpse Girl made my jealousy grow. I wanted to take her place. I wanted people to fear me just like they feared her. I wanted any other life other than that, anything that would let me escape my own hellish half-existence. Thanks to trawling through her website, Junpei soon figured out the whole thing was essentially a hoax. Corpse Girl had no ability to cause death. Noriko was simply trying to con people into ending their own lives. It was pathetic. It made me laugh. I decided I would play along with Noriko's delusions in order to ensure her downfall. Okay. It's finally time. I get to meet Junpei at the station and walk him home. Yay! The Noise Corporation office is within the walking distance from the Shinjuku train station. Getting there is a breeze. Junpei worked on the 30th floor of the massive office complex. He's one of the top dogs. He's worked really hard to get where he is. I'm so proud of him. It's kind of funny to think that I almost got a job near here. The Temujin buildings is so close to Junpei's office. Noriko and Shinya hooked me up, but I completely bailed on them. Oh well. At the time, I had no idea the love of my life worked nearby. I think I'm right on time, so Junpei should be here any second. As I wait patiently, a familiar-looking girl climbs the stairs and wanders past me. Her outfit is kind of unprofessional. I wonder if she's an office employee. She looks like a troublemaker. Where have I seen her before? Oh? She caught me staring at her. Oh no, she's walking towards me.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's Tomoe. She's okay. Tomoe's okay. Everything's okay, guys. Everything's okay. Everyone stop worrying right now. Everyone, all of you stop worrying. It's fine. Everything's okay with Tomoe. We all can breathe. No time to run away. She's right in front of me.
Yeah, you're Noriko's friend, right? Aoi?
Noriko's friend. Everything's always about fucking Noriko.
Yes, and you are...
The brash girl swoops her hair out from her face and leers at me.
Tomoe, a friend of hers as well.
Oh,
I suddenly remember where I've seen Tomoe. I think she was in some of Shinya's photos. Is she the girl Shinya was dating and broke up with?
how is Noriko?
Dunno. Was hoping you could tell me. Haven't seen that skank in weeks.
I see. I haven't seen her either.
Righto. Well, I'll see you around.
Just like that, the girl brushes past me and doesn't even look back.
Bye.
It's interesting how, and this is a complete tangent from the game, but it's interesting how people can view others. I think there is a name for this, how when you misinterpret someone else's emotions or actions or something like that. I forgot the word for it, but it's interesting how a person can view someone else who's just doing their own normal thing without any intention as a very bad intention, like this case, where Tomoe wasn't really trying to be anything, wasn't trying to be annoying, but all we thought she was annoying and she was trying to be very leery at her. So it's really interesting how interpretation or a perspective can really change meaning in a lot of things, especially psychology and how you view other people. So yeah, it's really cool how psychology works. I don't know why I said this. I went on this tangent, but it is really cool how the human mind works, you know?
Yo, babe!
Hey, what's up, dude?
What up, doll?
What up, bruh?
Hey, that chick you were just talking to? She works at Temujin. I see her walking around here all the time. She's the one I told you about.
Wait, that's her?
Yup. She used to help that Kochiro asshole deliver bodies for Corpse Girl. I've been waiting for ages to introduce you to. Oh!
I nodded Junpei and immediately break into a run.
Go get her, babe.
Junpei's cheers fade as I leave him behind. Tomoe. She's the one helping Noriko, helping Corpse Girl. We've been waiting for a chance to follow her. Junpei has been keeping an eye on her, but her actions and movements are erratic and hard to predict. But today I fortunately have the opportunity to follow her. She's connected to so many people. Noriko, Kojiro, Shinya. They're all involved with Corpse Girl's operation. We want to track them all down one by one and cremate them like cadavers. Of course I'm saving Noriko for last. I'll slice her open and bathe in her blood and be born again from her corpse. Oh my gosh, she's even more messed up than Noriko. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, they might be equally messed up, I don't know. I'll assume her identity and live her life and leave my own painful existence. That's her idea? Oh my god. Wow, she really wants to be Noriko, doesn't she? Holy crap. I race along as fast as my legs will let me. My feet pound against the train platform and several people passing by stop to watch me out of curiosity. As long as Tomoe doesn't notice I'm tailing her, then I don't care who sees me. I follow her all the way to the end of the platform, then I blend into the crowd as we board the same train. Oh my god, this is getting more messed up by the minute, holy crap. I knock on the door to what I can only assume is Tomoe's apartment. She answers just after a moment and shoots me a quizzical look. As soon as the door is all the way open, I dash forward and slam to Tomoe with the full force of my tiny body.
What the fuck?
We tumble into the apartment, though Tomoe doesn't even lose her balance. She's a lot bulkier than I am. She absorbs most of the impact and manages to remain standing. She grits her teeth and plants her hands on my shoulder, only to push me back with a mighty shove.
What the fuck are you playing at? He just tackled me.
I swing a fist at her face. She catches me off guard when she sidesteps the punch and brings her knee up to my gut. I reel back, but the injury doesn't bother me.
Take that, you dumb skank. I'll teach you to attack me. I don't care if you're Noriko's friend. I'll put you in the fucking ground.
Yeah, go Tomoe. Tomoe is best girl. In this whole game, Tomoe is the best girl. I'm rooting for Tomoe. Her long fake nails rake across my face and blood pours from my torn skin. But I stand firm and stare her down.
You're allied with Corpse Girl, right?
Is that what this is about? I don't give a shit about all that anymore. It's all behind me.
You know Corpse Girl's identity?
Of course I do. Why? Are you curious? Got someone you want to have killed?
No. I know that it's Noriko.
You're damn right. I should have guessed that a friend of hers would be just as psychotic.
I mean, there's this thing in psychology where people with like-mindedness come together. I mean, sometimes they don't even realize it. And it's this whole thing with, you know, and this spans for like ages and ages. Like people who are sort of like similar minds come together. And it's obvious in like cliques, high schools. I mean, just making groups in like in big settings just shows that people might, you know, be, of course, way different than they are. Like Noriko and Aoi are definitely way different people. But there are parts of them that are similar, aspects of them that are similar. So it's really interesting how that works. Again, I'm delving into psychology a lot. I don't know why, but it's just really interesting and really cool. And yeah, I've talked about this before in other videos, but yeah.
Noriko can go fuck herself for all I care. I'm done with her shit.
So am I. I'm going to kill her.
Tomoe raises an eyebrow.
That so? Well, she kinda has it coming.
Wow, I mean, I didn't expect that to happen with Tomoe. I thought she would like be more friendly about Noriko, but I guess after everything she's been through, and Noriko and Kojiro telling Tomoe that Noriko is probably gonna kill her, I would say that does it. I would say that does it to her.
I see.
Corpse Girl is done and dusted. Doubt the public even remembers her these days.
Yeah, it's really surprising. Like I was thinking about this like a couple of days ago, where like okay, the mortuary assistant, like it came out like what 2-3 weeks ago. It's like barely even like played or probably even remembered like after a week later. Like holy crap, things die out so fast. Like Madison was such a big thing when it came out. Now I doubt anyone even remembers Madison. It's really interesting how fast things just move when there's just so many people doing so many things. Like not only on the internet, it's like expanding things on such a large scale, things die out so fast, and it's just okay. I'm going to tangent again, but it's just really interesting to see those kind of things and think about why and stuff like that.
It's all about the human removal service.
Yeah, it's all about that. Hee-haw.
Noriko's just Noriko now. But I still won't forgive her for what she did to...
Oh, crap. What is she talking about? Does she know something I don't?
What happened to Kojiro?
Do you even know who he is?
I do.
He warned me about her, you know? He said she'd discard us as soon as we weren't useful anymore. Sure enough, she had him killed. Fucking burned him alive.
Interesting. Tomoe thinks Noriko killed Kojiro, when in reality, Junpei took care of that freak. He burnt the entire morgue down with him. I suppose Kojiro's death caused Noriko and Tomoe's relationship to fall apart. Yeah. I kind of feel like I do kind of feel the game could have been a bit longer, where it delved into the relationships a bit more. Like I know it's like a 15-hour long game, and it's long enough for that, but I kind of still feel like I wish there was more time spent with other characters together like that, because Kojiro and Tomoe went from like being not that very comfortable around each other, and then a time skip happened, and they were close, relatively closer. I don't know. I just kind of feel like it was like slightly longer. Spent more time with each other, stuff like that. Yeah, everything worked out better than Junpei had planned.
Noriko will die, and so will you for your role in helping her.
Why? She doesn't have anything to do with it anymore. But I guess everyone's insane at this point, so why not? Tomoe, please live. The only thing I want in this game anymore is Tomoe to live, because Tomoe is like a bright, shining star in the sea of insane people.
Oh, come on. Why are you so insistent on messing with me? I ain't never done nothing to ya. Hang on.
Even though this girl exudes an air of stupidity, I didn't expect her to be actually this dense. Surely she's figured it out by now. I know, right? She goes from being dumb to smart to dumb. I don't get it either. She's a star. She flickers on her own.
Are you with the human removal service?
I don't say anything.
You're kidding me. You're the one Noriko has been fighting against this whole time. And you're her best friend.
Your point?
Are you the leader of your little group?
No.
Right.
When Tomoe pauses to brush her hair behind her ear, I strike. My hand darts from the grip and grips her throat, and I begin to crush it between my fingers. The girl kicks and flails. She beats her fists against my outstretched arms, but I don't flinch. Her gurgling and thrashing brings me no joy. I wish people would simply accept their fate. Despite how tightly I'm squeezing her throat, she manages to form the beginning of a word. I could only guess she's trying to call out for Shinya. Shinya, the idiot boy she already broke up with. He can't save her now. I tighten my grip and stride forward, pushing Tomoe back and pinning her against the wall. Again, you literally just mentioned that it took you to lunge into her to push her back, and now you can just do it easily. Plot armor! She kicks out at me and hits me directly in the knee. I refuse to buckle. Magical determination. I mean, okay, I do know that things can happen like this. I know I'm being a bit too annoying about pointing out the flaws of this, but I don't know. It kind of feels like the game is going like, oh, they can't do something, and now they can. Oh my god, yeah. I don't know. I just kind of have that, I'm sorry. I'm being really annoying. I'll stop. Her fingers continuously claw at my arms, slashing into my flesh and sending flecks of blood across the room. She thinks she can hurt me. Thinks she can fight her way out of her fate. Nothing she does will ever injure me. You can't hurt the dead. She can actually. I think what she means is that like she died for like a couple of minutes, and then she in the hospital or something like that, and then she was revived, resuscitated. This thought repeats in my mind as my face crashes into the floor. Interestingly, always killing Noriko the same way her father quote unquote killed her. So, a ringing sound in my ears caused me to question what just happened. The residual shockwaves of a dull impact to my skull flow through my head. I wouldn't call it pain or even an ache, just a sensation that something collided with me. But I'm already on the floor, my lips pressed against the hardwood, my eyes twitching and examining shards of pottery falling to the floor around me. The power of pottery! Yes, plates and pots are the best things in a fight. A blanket of darkness descends over me, and I hear the ragged sound of Tomoe breathing and someone's voice asking, "Are you okay?" But the question isn't directed at me. I don't think anyone cares that I'm lying here in my own blood. Oh, Shinya? Was he here? I can't count how many movies I've seen where characters claim they've had an out-of-body experience. I've heard the stories in real life too. People on the brink of death or unconsciousness tell tales of how they could view their own body from a lofty spiritual perch. Yeah, there are a lot of bodies like this, and I think there are some vague scientific researches on that, where they've noticed like some brain patterns that are different when people have an out-of-body experience. It's a little interesting thought. There's even a whole book that I read about that. I think it's like a short book. I forgot what it's called. I think it's like After I Came, After, something like that, where this girl's in a car crash and she has an out-of-body experience, and yeah, stuff like that. And then I think at the end she gets together with an old boyfriend, something like that. That was a that was an interesting and fun book. So yeah, if I figure out the book, I'll put it somewhere in the description or on the screen now, and you guys can read it, and you guys can read it if you want to. I never put much stock into such nonsense. How can someone be dead or dying view the world without any form of clarity? It's called the brain. It's very good at imagination, and it's good at taking in details, even if it's not correct. When I died all those years ago, I didn't expect any such thing. It was kind of disappointing, even though I didn't expect much. Being clubbed across the head in Tomoe's apartment was a completely different experience than the time glass shards pierced in my neck. I feel like I'm teetering on the edge of consciousness, writhing around on the hard floor. I can see some lights, some blurred and some shapes, and oh, that's why Aoi's voice is so soft. I think like her dad shoved some glass shards into her neck, into her throat, so she can't talk properly, so it's very soft all the time. Interesting, well-casted voice for that. I can see my body down below, my body delicate and frail and slowly decaying. I don't get it. Why would I have an out-of-body experience now of all times? I sure as hell didn't experience anything of the sort when my father slit my neck. So why now? I wonder if any of my victims ever suffered from hallucinations like this before dying. Did Kodomi Ida and all those people on the train platform experience this after I cut them open? There you go. So it was her. Did they also helplessly look down their own bodies from above as the train screeched past? Emi Katsuno, boy did she scream when I pushed her over the balcony railing. Did her spirit leave her body to look like It was her. Interesting, because she would have such a small window of opportunity to go inside, because Emi Katsuno literally died like a couple of seconds afterwards, because I think she died as the gang ran out after delivering the corpse. So I think their body was being the site was being monitored for a very long time, wasn't it? What about the other nameless souls I've claimed from Noriko's website? There have been so many bodies piled up, countless gift pledges in the corpse girl's name. I didn't kill them because they wanted to shed blood. Okay, this is pretty cool. Okay, I'll admit, this is pretty cool how the game's explaining everything. Okay, I think this is really cool. The accident that happened to the boy, I think that he was like the second person, which I think is a bit too soon for Corpse Girl website to, but still pretty cool. Still pretty cool. That explains the girl. The very first girl on like the scarecrow image. Oh, but that breaks the timeline. That breaks the timeline so soon, because Aoi's boyfriend is the one who hacked the website, and she only got the boyfriend after she got the job, and the girl on the cross, or like the scarecrow, was way before the whole Temujin thing. Timeline. What is this? What is the lore? The lore. Noriko never caught on to what I was doing. She took all the credit, thinking that she was some all-powerful being in control of the fate of her victims. She never even tried to understand the truth. I slaved away for her, cutting and strangling and slashing and slicing. I piled up bodies for Noriko, but Corpse Girl claimed all the kills. It was a pointless endeavor. I think she would have spiraled into madness even without the power trip. I suppose it doesn't matter now. Things have changed. That really makes so much sense. Okay, that's actually really cool, because Aoi stopped killing for Corpse Girl, so people stopped dying. And hence, the whole spiral happened for Noriko, where people wouldn't die as much. And then the website slowly died. It was because of Aoi this whole time. That is really cool. Well explained. That's pretty nice. My only focus now is to kill Noriko. I should have done so right at the start. I'll kill her for wasting my time. As I look down on my body below, I see a girl too scared to go on. Too scared to struggle anymore. It's a shame. If I wasn't killed years ago, I might have had the chance to live a normal life. Well, there's nothing else for it. I feel my spirit return to my body. It's a strange sensation because I know I'm not returning to life. How could I? I've been dead for far too long. My only chance is to claim Noriko's life for my own. I'll become her and discard this rotting, walking corpse. Oh. 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 I can hardly see without my glasses. Yeah, it's all blurred up. Everything is blurry, foggy, lacking a solid outline. Colors bleed into other colors. Blue blends into the purple and yellow melds into the brown. It doesn't help that I'm partially colorblind. Never had much luck telling red and green apart anyway. Without my glasses, I'm particularly blind.
You're finally
Helpless.
awake. Fucking skank.
She's even changed clothes and everything. Wow, okay. She spits at me and her filthy saliva drips down the side of my face. It's warm. I try to lash out at her only to find my arms have been bound back to my side. I try to scream out, but my mouth is gagged and with what I can only assume is a sock. I try to lunge forward, but I'm strapped lightly to the wooden chair I'm sitting in.
I can't believe this. This is so strange. I just...
Shut up, Shinya. Jeez.
Sorry.
The blurred forms of Tomoe and Shinya are pacing the room. Even without my full vision, I can tell that the room is bright. Sunlight is pouring in from the open window. Just how much time has passed since I was knocked unconscious? And why have they tied me up here? I scream into the mouth gag, somehow loud enough to capture their attention. Tomoe strides towards me and pulls the damp sock from my mouth.
What? What do you want?
I mumble something about being unable to see. Tomoe swears, stumbles around for a bit, and forcefully pushes my glasses on my face.
What are you going to do to me?
I don't know. That's up to this genius.
Her arms gestures, blah blah blah. Gestures towards Shinya. A pointed finger loaded with accusation.
Me? Look, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I just saw you were in trouble, so...
Why are you here anyway? We're done. Over.
I wanted to see you.
I'm not in the mood for their lovers' quarrel.
Let me go. Or bury me. Either way, don't keep me here.
You nearly killed me, bitch! It's taken all my strength not to murder you right here!
Go ahead. Try it. You can't kill the dead.
You're a freak.
Let me call my father. I'm sure he can take her in for questioning.
Yeah, so definitely Aoi probably died for a little bit, and then she was revived with the doctors, and that's why she thinks of herself as dead. That's probably it.
He can find out her motives for attacking you.
I already know why she attacked me. She's trying to take down everyone associated with
Tomoe cuts herself short.
Never mind that.
How does Shinya not understand that she was gonna say corpse girl? That was a very obvious sign. I wonder, is Shinya not privy to Tomoe's relationship with Corpse Girl? Intriguing. As Tomoe's former boyfriend, I simply assumed he was part of the operation. I thought he was an accomplice. If he doesn't know anything, then I don't need to kill him. One less person to deal with before I go after Noriko. However, I need to focus on getting out of here first.
If you let me go, I'll never bother you again.
No one's believing that. I'm sorry. No one's believing that. No. People might be dumb, but yeah, see, exactly.
Why should I believe you? You followed me to my freaking home!
I'm sorry.
Lie.
Then I'll exchange information for my release. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
What would you want to know? Of 50 ways to kill someone through the throat? Lie.
Like I care! I'm done with all the shit between Noriko and you!
Noriko? Has she got something to do with this?
Shut up, Shinya!
Shinya. Perhaps he's my ticket out of here. I turn my head to him and wait until he looks directly at me.
Shinya, I'm so thirsty. Can I have some water?
He pauses, but since Tomoe doesn't interfere, he ducks out of sight. He returns within seconds, holding a half-filled cup out to me.
Here.
I bob forward as best as I can against my restraints and take a sip of the lukewarm tap water.
Thank you.
It's worth noting how easy he is to manipulate. He's the complete opposite of my Junpei, who is strong and independent and doesn't let anyone mess with him.
So, about my offer, will you let me go if I share information about the human removal service?
Shinya's face turns pale.
The human removal service? That's...
I really couldn't care less about all of that. I told you, I'm done with everything.
I see.
Tomoe. She might have information that can assist with my investigation. We have to accept her offer.
You don't have to. You can always bury her in the backyard, but you know.
Oh, please. You're no cop as much as you fancy pretending to be one.
I already told you that Father accepted me as part of the investigation team.
You're a hack, a wannabe.
Why can't you just be happy for me?
Shut up. Shut up, shut up!
Tomoe storms off with sheer force of her anger, causing the walls to tremble. Shinya and I are alone in the room. I don't waste another second.
Shinya, I don't know everything that's going on, but it sounds like you're trying to solve the murder cases.
Just the fact that
right?
she's in her quote-unquote cute stage right now with like her calm expression is just so, it's so uncannily terrifying. I don't know how to explain it.
That's right. I'm really helping the investigation team.
You
You know?
At least that's what you think. That's very sweet, Shinya. That's very sweet.
Good. Very good.
Yeah, that's very good. Good for you, Shinya. You know what? Good for you. You're trying, definitely.
I have information that might help you.
Well, he's probably gonna get stabbed to death now.
Will you let me go if I share it with you?
His nervous eyes dart around, searching for any signs of Tomoe's presence. And then he looks at me dead in the eyes and says the very last thing I ever expected to say.
I'll let you go if you help me kill Noriko Kurosawa.
Okay then. Okay. Alright. Sure. Yeehaw. Great. Okay. What the heck? Alright. Alright. Okay.
This is your apartment?
Yes.
Where did Tomoe go off to? I thought she would be at like the doorway, but okay, another time skip. Here we go.
Please forgive me for intruding.
Forgiven. Shinya bows politely and removes his shoes. He places them carefully in front of the doorstep and takes a stride forward. He takes a good look around before returning to me.
You have a nice place.
This is where he asks you out. Oh, please. I wish he would cut the formalities. We're here to discuss serious business. He's acting like we're new coworkers or something. I walk over to the door and make sure it's fully closed. I slide the deadbolt into place.
The door is locked.
I whisper this under my breath though so Shinya can't hear me.
The door is locked.
Repeating the phrases like this has become a sort of mantra. It helps me concentrate. When I'm about 90% sure the door is actually locked, I wander back to Shinya. It takes all of my willpower to refrain from turning back and checking once more. Thankfully, Shinya distracts me from my inner turmoil.
Is everything you told me true? I want to make sure I have all the facts straight.
Yes, it's true. All of it.
The truth intermingled with the lies is still the truth, right? No. I mean, okay, the whole thing about truth is a whole discussion on itself because truth is belief, and if you believe something is true, then it's true to you. So, you know. I looked out when Tomoe left the two of us alone in her apartment. Again, there is the truth, which is a fact, and there is a truth, which is your belief on something. So, yeah. There you go. I looked out when Tomoe left the two of us alone in her apartment. If I'd had to explain things to her, I would have had to give her inside of her information about the human removal services operations. Anything less could have clashed with her existing knowledge and caused her to doubt me. But since I only had to explain things to Shinya, I had already determined that Shinya wasn't in the loop, so I concocted a convincing lie in order to secure his cooperation. The only smart person in the whole of this game. Oh my god. And he bought it.
Just want to get my head around it. Noriko Kurosawa is Corpse Girl. She's the one that was behind the initial string of murders across the city. She delivered photos and corpses to her victims in order to convince them that they would die soon. And that had the effect of causing people to kill themselves. Almost a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Of course, all of this is part of all of this part is true. Isn't that completely true? 1 second. She's the one that initial string of murders across the city. She would deliver photos and corpses to the victims. Yeah, no, that is completely true. Oh, you mean okay? She didn't tell him about killing people herself. That makes sense. Shinya doesn't need to know about I acted behind the scenes and brought the victims low by my own hand. Those acts of violence almost seemed like a distant memory. I was so committed to aiding Noriko that I couldn't think of anything else. In the end, my assistance didn't help my own situation. I only propelled Noriko's ego into the stars and continued to suffer my own cursed half-existence.
But it wasn't long before another group started killing people in much the same way as Noriko did. A group called the Human Removal Service.
Uh-huh.
It killed hundreds, if not thousands of people in the past months.
Mm-hmm. Again, all true so far.
And you were enslaved by Noriko? Forced against your will to infiltrate the Human Removal Service and bring them down from the inside?
Not quite, but basically, yeah, that's basically it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Heh. He's a fucking idiot. He
why you want to kill
really
Noriko.
is.
You want to be free
I'm
from
sorry. I like to
Even
give
if it
people
isn't
the benefit of a
exactly the
doubt,
legal
but
thing to
again,
do.
he's like an anime character, and he's so stupid. I mean, it's his character trait. I know it's the game's job to make us think like that, but it's just hilariously dumb sometimes, you know? That explains why you don't want to kill Noriko. You want to be free from her, even if it's a legal thing to do. Legal? What kind of pedestal is this guy standing on? He specifically requested assistance to do the exact same thing. He wants Noriko dead, just like I do.
But if I remember correctly, you only managed to learn one important thing about the Human Removal Service, right?
Yes.
The group is made up of dozens of members. Dozens of people that all masquerade as the leader, known as the Herald. There's no single person responsible for the murders. It's the joint effort of a large group, all striking across the city simultaneously.
Maybe the boyfriend is actually the person who started the Human Removal Service. He seems like that kind of person.
Am I correct?
And there's the real kicker. He's absolutely spot on. I didn't mind sharing this tidbit of information with him. I need to read that. It does nothing to assist him with his investigation, and wrapping the lie that I was Noriko's lackey in a blanket of truth makes everything all this more convincing.
Yes. That's right.
Phew, okay. I think I understand everything.
Oh, you sweet, sweet Dumbo.
Thank you for your help.
Oh no. There's one thing I'm not entirely comfortable about. Shinya hasn't been forthcoming with his reasons for wanting Noriko dead. If I don't air the question, I feel like he'll never address it.
Can you tell me why you want to kill Noriko?
He tries to back away from the question by twiddling his thumbs and pretending to examine the nearby wall.
Shinya, I need to know. Otherwise, how can I trust you?
Trust. It's a word that has always made me laugh. How can I trust anybody? I couldn't even trust my own parents, the people who swore to raise and protect me. My mother hit me when I misbehaved, when I overslept by 5 minutes or raised my voice ever so slightly. I was a child. How could I ever trust her not to lash out at me? My father. How could I ever trust him after he killed me? And Noriko. And Noriko, the one friend I opened up to. The one person who knew about all my struggles. She betrayed me, kept her perfect life out of reach, taunted me with it, dangled in front of me like a carrot on a string. When I asked her to share her life with her, she completely misinterpreted it. She told me she loved me, told me she wanted to be with me. She wanted to shower me with gifts, hold my hand, be intimate with me. She wanted me to be my girlfriend. But how could I be ever intimate with her after what I went through? She didn't understand me. She didn't understand that I wanted to be her, not be with her. She wouldn't trade lives with me, so how could I ever trust her? How could I trust her when she said she loved me, but she wasn't willing to make a sacrifice to make me happy? Everyone is so full of crap, and I'll never trust anybody again. again, okay, I know that clearly they've both gone through their own things, and that's made them both insane in their own way. Like Noriko thinks similar thoughts about herself against other people, and so does she. And it's obviously drawing a parallel to how those two are similar, but also thinking so similarly that they're against each other. And yeah, it's drawing a parallel there. But it's really interesting how these things work, right? Like small changes in things, environment, people can just change a person so much. Like sometimes you just think about how you in a parallel universe where you're brought up the same, raised the same, except like one or two things that are different. It can completely change you, and that's just so fascinating in a way. It's bittersweet, because you might want to be that person, you might want to be someone else, and there might be a person like that in a parallel universe when only one small thing could have changed. That one small decision in life can change so many things in people. And that's how important small changes are if you want to change yourself. So yeah, the littlest things do matter, but also at the same time, they can also not matter. It can be difficult to figure out how to change, how to feel about certain things, and yeah. Junpei spends every day trying to prove his love to me. He assists me with my compulsive behavior, he helps me do my shopping, helps me keep my apartment neat and tidy. So yeah, okay, so I think Junpei and Aoi can also be a parallel to Noriko and Kojiro if they had stayed together for a long time. Do I trust him? No. I know what he wants from me. He's no better than Noriko. He's willing to jump through hoops for me in hopes that he'll eventually conquer my flesh. Even when he tries to help out with my compulsions, I don't have full faith in him. He takes it upon himself to complete my checklist of rituals in order to spare me the stress. But more often than not, I still have to go ahead and double check everything, just to make sure he didn't screw anything up. If I can't even trust him with that, then I know I'll never be able to trust another soul with anything. Looking at Shinya now, pacing nervously around my apartment, I decided to not put any stock into what he says next. There's no way in hell that I'll believe whatever comes out of his mouth.
Noriko is my friend, but my father, Chief Detective Fujikawa, in case you didn't know, has declared her the prime suspect of our investigation. Thing is, Father isn't the most lenient person, and he's been cracking under stress lately. If he finds Noriko, if he arrests her, there will be no trial. She'll simply get life behind bars. Guaranteed.
Okay. Shinya hangs his head and I hear a quiet sob.
Is that our country's idea of justice?
Okay, there it is. So everyone in a way has this morality,
She
okay?
doesn't deserve anything less than death for her crimes. Letting her live safely behind bars isn't a punishment. It's an act of mercy. I want to ensure Noriko receives true justice, fitting judgment for the lives she destroyed.
And you might notice that's a very similar thought to what Noriko has. Interesting, huh? What he's saying doesn't add up. How does he know she won't receive the death penalty? It's true that it's not a common punishment, but it is still legal in this country, especially for cases of mass murder. Does Shinya have information that I don't?
I need to find her. I need to hand her the justice that my father is too cowardly to deliver.
Whatever. I'm already sick of this guy. He acts like he's been personally wronged by Noriko's crimes, like he's so high and mighty and he knows what's best. I doubt he knew a single person that Noriko killed.
Fine. To be honest, I don't really care about your reasons. As long as you want Noriko dead, then our goals are the same. But I have to ask, will you turn yourself into the police after you kill her?
Once again, Shinya hangs his head.
I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't.
He leaves his sentences hanging in midair. It wasn't exactly a confirmation. He probably won't. Let's be honest. Like, one can think those kind of things, but then when it comes to that moment, then probably won't.
There's only one problem. I have no idea where Noriko's hiding. She doesn't live in her apartment anymore. She doesn't show up to her office. I know that she has a factory that she runs her operation from, but I can't find it.
Let me guess. This dude's probably followed Tomoe to the factory.
I see. might be able to help. Tomoe and Noriko used to spend a lot of time together. Not sure what they used to get up to, but I checked the travel history on Tomoe's
Of
IC
course you
card,
did.
and she made a lot of trips to Shinokubo.
Of course he did. Wow. Her IC card. For people traveling by train every day, buying single-use card tickets is often a pain in the butt. Reusable IC cards are much more convenient. You can top them up with money and simply swipe them at the ticket gates to have your train fare automatically deducted. I can't words. Best of all, they keep a record of your transaction history and the stations you've traveled to recently. The fact that Shinya even thought to look up Tomoe's travel history makes me want to reconsider my initial assessment of the guy's detective skills. Detective skills or not, that's very, very creepy, my dude. You're crossing a line there.
Shina Okubo, you say?
Yeah. Can't imagine what she was doing there, but all the dates she traveled to that station coincide with days she claimed to be hanging out with Noriko.
I still don't think Shinya realizes that Tomoe was in on Noriko's operation. Regardless, this is valuable information. Chances are good that Noriko and Tomoe spent a lot of time together at their factory, and that factory may very well be located in Shin Okubo. I'll feed this information to Junpei and see what he makes of it. Perhaps he knows something I don't.
Thanks for the info. That's enough for today. I'll contact you when I locate Noriko.
Okay.
Oh, say, just one more thing.
What is it?
If you've been wanting to kill her, then why haven't you just called her and asked her to meet up with you?
He thinks he's so clever. He thinks he has everything all worked out. He doesn't know crap.
It's not that easy.
It actually was. Noriko was looking for a place to stay, and, well, you goofed up there, Aoi. You goofed up there, you little goofy goof.
I need to find where she's living and running her operation from.
You had the chance today morning, well, yesterday night, morning, day, after, I don't know, time.
I want to destroy everything involved with Corpse Girl.
Ah.
I want to burn her factory to the ground.
More lies on top of lies. The truth of the matter is that Noriko knows perfectly well my intentions for her, even if she temporarily forgets it during moments of delirium.
But you had the perfect opportunity before she knew. You literally knew it a couple of days ago, or like a day ago.
Back to being stupid. Okay. Well, you know what, game? Fine. People can be stupid. Okay, it's fine. She would never agree to meet up with me. Not now. Things were different not so long ago, but I missed that opportunity. Noriko worked out of my position in the human removal service. Noriko worked out of my position. She figured out that I'm the Herald, the one responsible for slicing and dicing. No, she didn't. Okay, but Aoi doesn't know that, but okay. She doesn't know there's more than one Herald, but that's irrelevant. And she doesn't know that I'm responsible for the mass of the bodies littered across Tokyo thanks to Corpse Girl's website. However, as long as she knows I'm a threat, she'll never agree to meet with me. How she came to the conclusion that I'm the enemy is beyond me. She's a sharp person despite teetering on the edge of total breakdown. No, she's not. No, she's not. It doesn't matter. I mean, she's a very good Photoshop artist, but no, she's not smart. I mean, technically she is. The story has told us, but she's not smart in the story. The point is, I can't simply call up and meet up with her. Besides, I actually do want to locate the factory just as much as I want to locate her. The factory is where I'll plant myself. It's where I'll start my life anew. It's where I'll grow and blossom into the new Corpse Girl once I've taken over Noriko's identity. Shinya is contemplating my answer. It seems good enough for him.
Fair enough. You want to see Corpse Girl completely and utterly defeated. I get that. That's your idea of justice.
Sure.
Agreeing with him will make this ordeal of a conversation end quicker.
I'm going to get some rest. So...
Okay. I understand. I'll take my leave. Call me when you locate Noriko, okay?
Yes.
Lie.
Farewell then.
He makes his way to the door and I don't take my eyes off him until he disappears through the portal. When he's gone, I tiptoe towards the door and confirm it's fully closed. I make sure the door is snugly nestled in the wooden frame. I lock the door handle and then slide the deadbolt into place.
The door is locked.
The door is locked. But is it?
The door is locked.
I can't be certain. To my eyes that fail me on a daily basis, that betray my mind with illusions and phantoms, the door seems to be locked. But why should I trust my eyes? I don't trust anyone. Why should I trust parts of myself? I can't even see clearly. Red, green, whatever. I can't see anything without the aid of glasses. The door has to be locked. It has to be. Otherwise, blah 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 blah. I won't be able to stop thinking about it until I come back and check again and again and again.
The door is locked.
I turn away, take a deep breath, and immediately turn back.
The door is locked. The door is locked.
I'm pretty sure the deadbolt is in place. It certainly looks in place. I'm so exhausted. I'm tired of the routines and rituals. Why can't I just walk away? If I walked away, the problem wouldn't exist. I wouldn't be stuck standing here checking and double checking something so trivial. So it is, isn't it? It's so easy to want to walk away, but actually walking away is a long and arduous process. You've got to work for it. Whether it be talking to someone professional, whether it's facing it. It's a very arduous, difficult process, and it takes time. If I could walk away, I wouldn't be so full of stress, so worked up about things that ultimately don't matter. Another deep breath, and I take a step back.
Door's locked.
I turn, run, dash. I sprint through the room, sprint through the hallway. I slam my body into my bedroom door, throwing it wide open. Bedroom door? Okay. I collapse on my bed. I ignore the nagging in my brain telling me that the door is unlocked. I ignore it until it feels too real and I have to scratch my flesh just to distract myself. I pull my pillow over my head and hold it tightly around my face. I'm safe here, safe in my bed. The door is locked. Locked. I try to convince myself to fall asleep. Tell myself I'll feel better after I rest. I hope I locked the front door. I hope you did too. Oh no. It's a Wednesday. A Wednesday.
So yeah, I reckon I'll have some work for you soon. The other heralds have been keeping the numbers up. There just haven't been any requests for this area lately, you know?
Yeah.
I'm only half listening to Junpei. He said something about why I haven't been tasked with killing anyone lately, but I don't really care about the reasons. Junpei is the only one in contact with the leader of the Human Removal Service. I just take orders like all the other heralds. Not that I've met any of them. Every herald has their own district, their own turf. If a request comes through our website, it gets allocated to the herald closest to the victim. It must have been a week since I got the last kill, maybe 2 weeks. It's not that important. It's not that I like the killing, it's not that I want to do it. I fulfill the request simply as a way to antagonize Noriko. It's my role to play in backing her into a corner and shutting down Corpse Girl. And so far, thanks to her contribution to the Human Removal Service, we have been incredibly successful. Corpse Girl is all but a distant memory to the general public. If people really wanted to request somebody's death, they come to us, not to her. I don't plan on remaining with this group for much longer. After all, Noriko is pretty much already broken. She's a wreck. Once I find her, I'll possess her and quit this group. Then I'll finally have the life I always wanted. Noriko's life. I'll resurrect Corpse Girl when I feel like it. I'll use my inside knowledge on the Human Removal Service's operations to bring them down myself. It's kind of difficult to bring down an already established, very strong group, but hey, you go dream, girl. There you go. You got this. I believe in you, girl. After that, I'll be able to spend my days in peace, living free of the fear, finally comfortable in being the girl I want to be. I'll truly be Noriko.
Yo, babe, you in there?
Huh?
I suppose I drifted too far away. I rub my eyes looking at Junpei and flash him in my sweetest fake smile.
I'm okay. Sorry, honey bear. I'm very tired.
Oh, don't sweat it. You want me to grab you a cup of coffee?
That would be lovely. You always know how to make me feel better.
So I don't think she actually likes him. She's probably going to ditch him as soon as she becomes Corpse Girl.
Of course. I'm on it, babe. You wait right there.
Junpei stomps away and heads behind the bar, leaving me alone in this empty section of the cafe. I take a seat on one of the cardboard boxes lining the wall. The box is solid thanks to being packed full of various canned drinks. The maid cafe belongs to us in the early hours of the morning. This place isn't open until noon, so there's no one here this early. I have my own keys these days, regardless of whether or not I'm supposed to. Junpei suggested we use this place as a makeshift base of operations after I decided I was going to continue working here. That was some time ago now. Originally, I had planned to quit. I was going to work with Noriko. My manager at the time used to drive me insane. I couldn't wait to get away. But after I killed... There you go. I called it. I called it. All hail Detective Lucy. I don't want to be a detective. I'm going to... Oh, God. I'll die before I get a detective hat. But after I killed him, things weren't so bad. The new manager is great. He doesn't pressure me to work shifts I don't want to. He doesn't let customers take advantage of the staff. Neither the new manager nor the other staff members care that Junpei and I meet up down here. It's not like we leave any incriminating evidence behind after either. It's simply so easy for us to meet up and talk since Junpei lives so far away from me. The added benefit is that we have access to cheap drinks and food thanks to the employee discount, so hanging out here is actually quite pleasant. I wait for a while longer for Junpei to return. I really could use a coffee right now. His return is heralded by the thump of heavy feet against the tiled floor.
Got you, fam.
I got you, fam. Junpei settles up next to me and hands me my favorite drink. A tall iced coffee with an extra espresso shot and a dollop of ice cream.
Oh, you're the best, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it.
He giggles in his insanely irritating high-pitched, yeah, okay, she doesn't actually like him, and begins to chug down his own latte.
So I wanted to ask you a favor.
Anything for you, honeybee.
A tuft of milky foam sits on top of his lip, and I have to hold myself back from stabbing him in the face.
Noriko apparently spent a lot of time in Shin Okubo with her accomplice Tomoe.
Shin Okubo, huh? Good old K-Town. What'd they go there for? Karaoke?
Doubt it. Noriko sounds like a drowning cat when she sings.
Then what?
Well, I'd like to think that's where the factory is located.
Oh, gotcha.
Gotcha.
Oh, you could be onto something.
Mm-hmm.
Trip from Kojiro's Mark to Shin Okubo wouldn't take that long. Since they used to move a lot of bodies around, it's definitely a viable location.
I agree.
Right on. I'll look into it. I'll track down factories in that area and get my troops to investigate each one.
Troops, huh? I'm careful not to let him see roll my eyes. By his troops, he means the guys he plays online games with. Ah, okay. A bunch of teenagers that all look up to him because he's a top-ranked player. They're not involved with the human removal service. They're just spawns that Junpei uses to complete legwork around town. So he works a top management job. He plays a lot of video games and is very highly skilled. And he manages to find time to do the human removal service work. That's a lot of work in a day. Just, woo, that's a lot of work. Sadly, they're happy to serve him because they all see him as their sensei.
Cool. Let me know what you find out. I'm itching to get this all over with. My love.
My love. It's increasingly difficult to act pleasant around Junpei. My mouth tries to clamp itself shut every time I use a pet name or affectionate term. I know that my time to discard him is near. Once I become Noriko, then...
You can count on me, Sweetums. Now drink up and get your energy back.
Again, this is also a parallel to Noriko because Kojiro would get her coffee, and she likes coffee, and Aoi is drinking coffee right now. Because my tongue is dead, the food and drinks I consume need to be extra strong or sweet for me to have a chance of enjoying the flavor. But Junpei doesn't know this. He just thinks I have a sweet tooth. He thinks whatever he wants, but wait, what did she say about that? What? What just happened? Oh crap, no. I meant to go L. Because my tongue is dead, food and drinks, okay. She thinks she's dead and, you know... A message from Junpei arrives while I'm lying in the fetal position on my couch. Junpei free Wi-Fi. Hey cutie, the guy checked out a bunch of factories yesterday, got the location, hit me up. I have to read the message twice, but to be sure my eyes aren't deceiving me like usual. Does he truly have the location I've been looking for? I took a calming breath. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, especially with something involving Junpei. He has the tendency to exaggerate and may just be trying to get me excited about the useless information. I sent him a short reply requesting the info. Give info, please. I instantly receive a thumbs up emote. Then the text box changes to an animated ... as Junpei composes his follow-up message. The wait is antagonizing. If Junpei pulls through for me here, I might finally learn Noriko's location. If it all pans out, then everything could be over tonight. It's hard to not get excited about the prospect. It's hard not to get ahead of myself. I could leave my death behind and never look back. I could become Noriko and live the happiest life she has ever been. She's been keeping to herself all these years. The message finally arrives on my screen. It's still fascinating how much she idolizes Noriko, even though she wants to kill her. She's still in a way idolizing her because she wants to live her life. Even though Noriko, we know that she hasn't had the best life. It's really, really interesting how that's played. I mean, it would have been more interesting if the game took more time to play that out, but, you know, alright. It's an address, not that I expected anything else. A street name and factory number in Shin Okubo area. One more message from Junpei comes through. My guys saw a chick matching Noriko's description inside the factory. They thought she was a zombie. Ha! Go check it. This is it. As long as this information is solid, I've located Noriko's factory. My entire body begins to shake and I see chill washes over me, as though I've just walked into a cold shower. It's a strange sensation for a dead girl to feel. Pain doesn't affect me, and yet, the cold is something I can never banish from my bones. No time to focus on that. I have to stay calm, need to concentrate and pull myself together. I launch myself up from the couch and collect the backpack hanging over the coat rack. I unzip it, run my hands through its contents, and convince myself that everything I need is within. After swinging the bag over my shoulders, I throw open the apartment door and venture outside. She's gonna go in as the herald, I assume. The factory is a rundown mess. How anyone can live here is beyond me. I suppose I'll just have to find a way to make it feel like home. Maybe once I'm inside Noriko's skin, I'll be able to understand why she's comfortable there. Yeah, the more I look at it, the better it seems. This will be my home. I'll be Noriko and live here happily ever after. I'll sit back and enjoy the life that she's been withholding from me. Firstly, I need to find somewhere to change my clothes. I can't kill someone if I'm wearing my nice dress. That's just not acceptable. I did consider changing at home, but then I would have scored funny looks from people on the train ride over. It is strange that a dead girl fears entering a socially awkward situation. I always go out of my way to avoid uncomfortable situations. Perhaps that's just a remnant of the life I once knew, something I can't quite leave behind. So she's obviously calling herself a dead girl because she wants to disassociate herself from what was happened in the past. And calling herself dead is just an easy way to take in that and not face whatever was happened. It's still okay. I really can't say enough how interesting these psychological situations are, where she thinks Noriko's life is so much better and she wants to be Noriko, even though Noriko's gone through so much and she's in a very similar situation as Aoi. I just feel like the game could have done a little more to talk about. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm getting sidetracked. I'm sorry again. I'm being way too critical again. The same as my obsessive compulsions, they cling to me like carrion flies swarming over my corpse. I shouldn't be worried about any of these things. But dead or not, my mind can't just discard the anxieties that shape my entire life. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I trapping myself in pointless thoughts? My goal is right in front of me. Noriko is on the other side of the brick wall, completely unaware of what is about to happen. A heavy-handed slap to my face doesn't sting, but it causes me to reevaluate what I'm doing. Focus! First I'll change into my gear provided to me by the human removal service. Then I'll shimmy into the factory through an open window. I'll locate Noriko and drive a knife into her chest. I'll pluck her still beating heart from her body, like a ripe strawberry, and then carve my name into the pulsating, blood-spurting organ. Noriko's life will be over and I'll be reborn. I'll baptize myself in her lifeblood and become the girl I've always wanted to be. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna cause you happiness. You're still gonna be yourself, but that's you're gonna figure that out. You're gonna figure that out later, huh? Happy, just like Noriko, that smiling, carefree girl that I spent my youth with. The girl that faced her mother's attempted suicide with a stoic smile. The girl that didn't flinch when her father walked out. The girl that stayed inside day after day when the outside world just became too scary to face. The happy, carefree girl without a single real problem. She never knew how good her life was. She wouldn't have lasted a few days in my shoe. I really do like the way I know I'm talking about it way too much, but I really do like the way they've made Aoi idolize Noriko so much. And then they've shown that Noriko thinks that she's weak and not that great. It's a really well done way of building character. That's pretty cool, you know? I hate her so much. I'm going to become her. My backpack hits the ground with a dull impact. I tear my yellow sundress from my shoulders and let it fall to the ground, just like a snake sheds its skin. The cool afternoon breeze bites at my naked skin and makes the tiny hairs across my body stand on end. Why can't the dead feel the cold? The dead shouldn't feel anything. I crouch and rummage through my backpack, withdrawing my change of clothes. Slowly, calmly, deliberately, I dress myself in the dark gear that marks me as a herald. One of many. I know the comforting weight of the four knives concealed within my jacket. One in each sleeve, two against my chest. It's important to be armed to the teeth. After donning every article, I pull a broad mask out of the bag. A mask in the likeness of Corpse Girl, my enemy and my future identity. I slide the mask over my face and a curtain of calm descends over me. This is the last time I march forward in the name of the Human Removal Service. This is for my own personal agenda. The scheming of that rebellious group of killers no longer guides my hand. The time has come. I approach the factory's front entrance and try the door, simply out of curiosity. I don't expect Noriko to have lowered her guard so much, and yet the door swings open. She left it unlocked. A mistake I would have made thanks to my overbearing compulsions. See, exactly, you won't be Noriko even if you do anything, because you're still you! This place reeks of death. If I wasn't so accustomed to the smell, I'd probably vomit. Do dead girls vomit? The dull, steady hum of an air conditioner registers in my consciousness, but doesn't distract me from examining their surroundings. Countless empty body bags are strewn across the pockmarked concrete floor. Some are stained with brown blood, and some are completely clean. A series of shelves, almost like warehouse stack racks, run along the walls and run across the floor in haphazard patterns. Whoever planned this layout was out of their mind. However, this is home now. My home. Soon. Starting forward, I weave between the shelves and step back over the discarded body bags. So far, these have been there has been no indication of Noriko's presence. Still, I draw the knife from inside my sleeve so that it rests in the palm of my hand. The metal handle is cold. Cold. Why do I feel cold? The entire factory is like a freezer. How can Noriko live here?
Hey.
My torso twists in reaction to a monotone syllable. The quick movement sends a shooting pain across my chest. Pain? Pain?
It's you. Hello, Harold.
Oh wow, that... Oof.
It took me a while, but I figured out what your mask is supposed to be. It's like an artistic representation of Corpse Girl, right? The Corpse Girl mascot that appears on my website.
Oh. It's sort of similar, I guess. Not that similar. It's similar enough, I guess. Okay, fair enough. That's copyrights, but okay. Noriko flashes her phone at me and I glare at the website displayed.
That's totally copyright infringement.
I know, right? Wow, sue her right here, right now. I don't know what to say to her. This isn't exactly how I imagined this encounter would play out.
Why'd you fake Junpei Matsumoto's death? You know what I'm talking about, right? That time we met in the underground parking lot. You planted a look-alike corpse to fool us into thinking Junpei had died. Total Corpse Girl move, by the way. Guess you stole that strategy from me, too. I sense a lawsuit.
That's right. Sue her. She can't do anything about that. She steps forward with a hand outstretched. Oh, wow. I instinctively lash out with my knife and slash her wrists. But her hand comes to rest on my shoulders, the tiny nick from my inaccurate blade not even prompting a spurt of blood.
Ouch. That stung a little.
The warmth of her hand seeps into my shoulder. It's almost comforting.
Aoi, I miss you. I really miss you. Can you take off the mask? Can we just talk?
I don't take off the mask. I don't know why I am standing here listening to her. I don't know why her presence and her reassuring hand has caused me to lower my guard. This is the happy... Oh, she smiles. This is the happy, carefree Noriko I grew up with.
You're so beautiful, Aoi. I'm really sad we can't be together. How are things with your boyfriend?
That single, useless word crawls out of my rotting mouth like a diseased maggot. It's all I can bring myself to say.
You can't tell me? That's okay. You used to be so open with me. And then, you died. We tried to keep our friendship going after that, but we've never really been the same since then, have we? I hope you get the help you need, Aoi. I hope one day we can put all of this behind us.
Is it gonna be at the end? Are we gonna find out that the real ending is that Noriko is behind both human removal servers and Corpse Girl, and that she's been imagining everyone else and then Aoi's actually dead, and maybe it was Noriko killing people and doing stuff, because that would sort of make sense, I guess. My fingers loosen, the grip of my knife weakening. But then again, it won't make much sense because both Tomoe and Shinya saw Aoi, so it falls to the concrete ground. I don't need it anymore. I tense my arms and squeeze my hands together, desperately trying to crush Noriko's throat beneath my fingers. Her skin is warm and flushes red as my grip tightens. She kicks against me, but the pain doesn't register. She's weak and frail. Her strangled cry is drowned out by my own grunts of exertion. Anemic fingers swipe at my arms constantly, only serving to irritate me. I could hold her neck in one hand and use my others to plunge a knife into her face. I could continue strangling her until I crush her windpipe, or I could slash her stomach open and let her intestines spill out onto the ground. All the options are appealing. All of the options can be put into motion within seconds. I take my right hand off her neck and slip into my jacket and ready to pull out a knife. My left hand closes tighter on her neck, and Noriko closes the distance between us, causing my elbow to bend and allow her closer. Her forehead slams into my own, and my neck recoils backwards. I'm falling to the ground, only able to blink once as I try to work out what just happened. She somehow summoned the strength to headbutt me. Frail, weak, ghostly Noriko. She actually stood up for herself. She actually struck the person she loves. I'm dazed but ultimately uninjured. I didn't even feel the impact of my skull against the concrete where I landed on the floor on my back. Noriko towers over me and rubs her neck, her ragged breathing even louder than the thrumming air conditioner.
Sorry, Aoi. I had to defend myself.
Yeah,
Please, get up. Let's talk about things.
Interestingly, Aoi's and Noriko's eyes are very similar in their psychotic corpse girl / herald phases, so interesting. I get up. I slip the knife into her side and feel it slide neatly between two of her ribs. Her taut, thin skin does nothing to resist the impalement. Noriko looks down at the wound and mumbles in surprise. I drive the knife deeper, and with a flicker of my wrist, I pull it sideways, slashing her belly wide open. An arcing stream of blood sprays from the savage wound and forms a macabre rainbow before me. Noriko coughs and gags as she frantically tries to stem the tide of blood with her hands.
Damn it! Corpse Girl will
She falls to her knees.
get at you.
Her empty thread falls with her, and her face slams into the concrete. Noriko Kurosawa is dead. Using the very same knife that I slashed her open, I cut along the seams of my jacket and skirt. I strip myself down with the blade, and until I'm standing cold and naked in the factory. It doesn't take long to strip Noriko down as well, but I'm extra careful with her clothes, and I don't use a knife this time. I simply dress up and over her until it slides free from her motionless body. I hold the dress up against me, letting it press down against my own form. I look down and admire the sight of myself, imagining what I look like when I wear it. I can finally become Noriko. If you really want to become Noriko, you would also, be on the floor dead, but I can wear her clothes, live in her factory, talk to her friends, work at her office. I can do all the things that she loved to do, all the things that made her happy. I slip the dress over my head and force my arms through the sleeves. It's a little long, but overall it still fits me nicely. I am Noriko Kurosawa. Sure you are, definitely, Oh. When Mother killed herself, she didn't die. Well, she died, but not really. It's a funny thought. Everything that she was, everything that made her Asuna Kurosawa, left this planet on that day. Her body remained, but her soul had departed. She got sent away to a care facility and didn't see her very often. On the rare occasions I visited her, I would always notice that her eyes no longer looked like mine. I hated for what she did to our family. Yuriko and I were the only children at the time, but Mother hung herself from the ceiling and made us watch. She encouraged us to kick the chair out from underneath her. We didn't understand what she was doing, but she told us it was a game. So we kicked the chair and we laughed. And Mother laughed, and then her neck snapped and she stopped laughing. And the light in her eyes that I once shared with her extinguished instantly. Yuriko screamed and I screamed, and Mother just wouldn't move. And we couldn't get her down from the ceiling, and eventually Yuriko remembered how to call for an ambulance. And the paramedics were alive, and we were taken away. And after that, I was completely fucked up, because you don't just walk away from something like that and act like nothing happened. I spent years trying to force the painful memories of her attempted suicide out of my mind, but I didn't exactly cope with it very well. How could I? I became terrified of the world and became used to locking myself inside and wasting away. Yuriko dealt with it a little better than me. I can't say rebellious behavior was the right way to cope, but it had to be healthier than staying inside for weeks at a time. By the time I reached senior high school, I think I had mostly gotten past everything. The visions Mother had hanging from the ceiling in front of me didn't haunt my dreams. The sound of laughter intermingled with screaming didn't always ring in my ears. Aoi helped me through a lot of it. She shared all of her problems with me, and it made me feel a little bit better, so maybe my life wasn't so bad. Aoi's life was kind of messed up. Her father was arrested for various crimes and didn't spend much time in her life. When we were about to graduate, he came back to town and violently attacked her. She called me and told me that he killed her, but she killed him too, so it was all going to be okay. Her words, not mine. Yeah, so she definitely disassociated from herself. Something like that, at least. I never understood what she meant when she said she was dead. I think graduating putting some distance between us, so I never truly tried to figure out her words. My own problems came to haunt me when I moved out of home. I became completely distracted and forgot about Aoi. The apartment I moved into, I should have known that the smell of mold wasn't normal. I should have paid attention to the shoddy repair work that had been performed on that wall. I should have just walked away and found somewhere else to live. But that apartment. I suppose that's where I started to lose control of my life. And that's the exact reason why I need to return there. Oh? Oh.
Looks the same as always.
Is this Aoi imagining herself to be Noriko? I'm not looking forward to climb the rest of the stairs up to the apartment. I can hardly walk at all, even on flat ground. But I have to do this. I can't let stitches and bandages and painkillers distract me from getting inside. Has she literally sewn Noriko's skin over her? I don't know how long I was in the hospital for. None of my personal effects were with me when I woke up. I had no phone, no purse, no handbag. The doctors monitored me for a few days and then let me go, even though I told them I had nowhere to return to. They just threw me onto the street. They couldn't even tell me what happened to the girl who attacked me. They had no idea if she had been arrested or not. I have a feeling she's still out there. Regardless, I'm here now. My wound apparently is on the mend and I won't have any signs of infection. So Noriko lives. Okay. All I have to focus on is the ascent in front of me. Each step I climb is more difficult to conquer than the last. Each time I raise my leg, I experience a tearing, searing agony along the length of my stomach. More than once, I have to stop and check that my stitches haven't torn wide open. When I'm sure my flesh is more or less intact, I continue scaling the mountain. My head throbs and beads of sweat drip down my face. When I hit the landing on the level below my apartment, I spy a familiar face.
Noriko?
Momo Ogawa, the daughter of Kenji Ogawa, the man I framed in order to maintain my innocence.
Hey, Momo.
Dad!
Her panic cry isn't the reaction I was suspecting. Her father is exiting the apartment just as Momo cries out. He does a double take before glaring at me.
Noriko, surprised to see you here.
I can't quite get a grasp of his tone. Is he happy to see me or angry? Does he even know that I'm the reason he was arrested? Well, I'm assuming that the police let him go fairly quickly. After all, he's here at his home and not rotting in his cell.
Hello.
Your landlord said you disappeared.
Yeah, kind of.
Are you okay? You look like...
His gaze returns to the hospital tags adorning my wrists and the package of spare bandages I have slung over my shoulders.
You know, you disappeared right around the time the police...
Huh?
Forget it. It's nothing.
Well, baby, add a second smart person to the game. Have a bad feeling that he's beginning to piece something together. If it works out that I'm behind his false arrest, then...
Sorry, I should go.
Yeah. Come on, Momo.
Bye, Noriko. Bye, Momo.
The girl waves excitedly as her father leads her downstairs. I should feel relieved that he's safe, but honestly, I just feel guilty. My actions as Corpse Girl's... Corpse Girl's actions put a lot of strain on that little family. I have to keep going. The last flight of stairs is torture on my battered body, but I persevere and reach the front door of my apartment. Oh, it makes sense now. Corpse Girl. Noriko found the dead body of the girl in her apartment. It triggered her memories of her mother. And that's when she called it Corpse Girl. She's been idolizing the corpse. Oh my god. Oh, that is so messed up but brilliant writing. I mean, I wish it was like brought along better, but wow, that's actually a great little thing. I mean, in the writing perspective, not in real life. Like that's a horrible thing for anyone to do, but whoa. That makes so much sense. Corpse Girl, because there's a girl corpse in her apartment. That's so much sense. Okay. It's at this moment that I remember I don't have any keys to get in. Crap. Out of desperation, I try turning the handle and the door opens. Either I left the place unlocked or the landlord has been inside and forgot to lock up. I'm just thankful that I can keep moving forward. The curtains are open, bathing in the living area in a soft light.
I'm home.
Home. No, that's not right. This isn't my home. This isn't Noriko's home. This is Corpse Girl's home. I never really lived here. I simply existed within these walls. The real Noriko is held hostage by an omnipotent presence sealed in this home. The things here are just as I left so long ago. It's a comforting feeling, but at the same time it sends this chill down my spine. It's time to move on. Maybe dying made Noriko realize, separated her Corpse Girl image from herself. I don't know. I stride with purpose towards the kitchenette and slide open one of the drawers. Inside is a small mallet with a metal head. It's a treasure I acquired from a garden shed on the apartment grounds. Back when I first moved in. Why a mallet? It's not very large, but that suits me just fine. I don't have the strength to wield anything bigger than this. Bringing it to bear is still a great deal of effort. I grip the handle with both hands and lift the deceptively heavy tool. Equipped with this tiny weapon of destruction, I slowly lurch through the hallway. Why? I make my way to the very end where a blank, stark white wall faces me. The paint on the wall is peeling like it was slapped on without care. The plaster is cracked like it was applied by an amateur. The lingering stench of mold is at its strongest when I stand in front of the wall. I bring the mallet with both arms. Okay, I thought she was going to start whacking mirrors or herself. The heavy metal head crashing into the wall with as much force as I can muster. The struggle of bearing the mallet is taking its toll on my wound. I feel the stitches in my stomach threatening to snap and break. But I can't stop here. I can't stop until I've crushed this wall and revealed the glittering contents of the trove hidden inside. Another swing and another crash against plaster. A cry of pain and another hole in the wall. A scream and swing and hammer and groan and slash and weep, and the wall crumbles beneath the sheer force of will. White dust clouds my vision and provokes me into a coughing frenzy. When my eyes and throat clear up, I throw the mallet to the carpet and venture forward. I clamber through the human-sized hole in the wall and find myself within the secret cache of the other side. Yeah. The stench assaulting my nostrils no longer disguises itself as the mold. And also, it's the same hair as the corpse girl image in the website. So this is corpse girl. This is corpse girl. Interesting. The stench assaulting my nostrils no longer disguises itself as mold. What if Noriko did imagine Aoi up and she stabbed herself? Is the fetid malodor of rot and decay the inimitable trademark of a decomposing corpse? I spent so long fooling myself into believing it was nothing concerning. I spent so long pretending that a corpse did not live within the walls of this apartment. The truth is, this corpse pinned to the wall is the root of all evil. It's an infinite fount of misery and despair and malice and death and hatred. This is Corpse Girl.
Hello, old friend.
This is so interesting. Wow. The corpse does not reply. To call it a corpse is no longer entirely accurate. It has become a little more than a skeleton. An osseous edifice, a macabre tribute to the unyielding sands of time. Bone and flesh and hair and fabric blend and intertwine and meld together to form beauty. I used to think this body was pure perfection. Back when the corpse was more or less intact, it was gorgeous. I aspired to become just as beautiful. Slender, elegant, graceful with pale skin and dark eyes. Looking at her now, it's clear to see that I was deceived. The form before me is not beautiful. It's revolting. I shaped myself in the image of death, truly believing I was transcending mortal beauty. This corpse controlled me for so long. This corpse manipulated me and made me want to become just like it. Somewhere along the way, my own identity began to dissolve, and I started to believe I had become this rotting carcass, this pallid bag of flesh. That actually makes so much sense according to the story. She lived with corpses. She tried to become a corpse. She barely ate. This makes so much sense now. Holy crap, this makes so much sense. The spell has been broken. I don't know if it's because of my near-death experience or the clarity of mind inspired by an intoxicating cocktail of painkillers, but I no longer wanted to associate myself with Corpse Girl. I wanted to be just myself, just Noriko. I no longer want to kill in the name of this blasphemous effigy.
Corpse Girl, I found you here, trapped in this storage closet, just over a year ago. And you stole my life from me.
Looking at her now, I can't help but wonder what the hell went through my mind when I let her possess me. Why did discovering a corpse have such a profound, lasting effect on my psyche? I mean, this would have a profound effect on anyone's psyche. Like the brain, like a human psychology or the brain is not meant to handle something like death. Like a person's psychology can be very fragile. You would be surprised at the very small things that can change a person so profoundly that, yeah. I shut my eyes as a wave of dizziness threatens to overcome me. Staggering in the near darkness, I struggled to regain my balance. I had blocked out the memory of discovering this corpse for so long I refused to acknowledge it ever happening. But the crystallized fragments of that forgotten memory have finally breached with the surface of my consciousness. I can finally recall the event thanks to the clarity brought about my current state of mind. Oh. It happened several days after I moved into this apartment. The musty smell of mold lured me to the wall at the end of the corridor, the wall that had been hastily patched up and covered with plaster and paint. I wondered about the source of the smell. I figured it might be a leak, a busted pipe that needed repair. Instead of calling upon the landlord for assistance, I took matters into my own hands. Perhaps I was inspired by my newfound independence. I just had to become a free young woman, living on my own for the very first time. Perhaps I was just stupid. I located a mallet in the garden shed. I tore down the wall. I found Corpse Girl, and in that moment I fell to my knees. Someone had hung a corpse! And decorated the storage room with books and photographs. The sight of this dead woman bearing down on me instantly unearthed the buried memories of my mother attempted suicide. Yeah. The pain and desperation that I had repressed for so long found its way out of my mouth and formed an unholy scream. I think the fear of that discovery and the subsequent revival of subdued memories caused me to slip in and out of consciousness. I was paralyzed by fear and my entire body was racked with pain. Looking back now, I feel like I must have spent days lying in a heap on the floor of the storage closet. Days spent with dreary haze of dread and depression and distress. Days spent at the feet of that hanging corpse, that form I began to look up and idolize. Days spent in a lull of fever dreams, surrounded by photographs on the wall of all manner of corpses. Days spent of my days and days of my soul and identities slipping between my fingers. Something must have eventually cracked inside me because I remember getting to my feet and repairing the wall. I don't know how I did it, but I patched up the wall. I patched it up and painted over it and vacuumed up all the dust and debris from the carpet. And then the memory of the entire incident just vanished from my mind. The only relic I had retrieved from that storage space was a single book, a heavy tome that must have tumbled out of the closet during my delirium. Faust Photographie, a comprehensive history of photo manipulation. Now, Corpse Girl doesn't look like the way she used to. Uncovering her today hasn't shocked me into submission like it did all that time ago. Am I stronger now? No, not really. But I was prepared to face her this time, and now I'm here to bury her. As I calmly assess how difficult it'll be to retrieve her from her position, my eyes fall upon the dozens of photos plastered haphazardly across the walls. Photograph of nameless bodies printed in the instant camera. There must have been 10 or 20 or 30 corpses across the entire series of images. I don't recognize any of them. That's the only comfort I can take from viewing the images. The comfort that I'm not the only one who decorated this room with these macabre visuals. Whoever put these photos up is undoubtedly the same person responsible for hanging Corpse Girl on the wall. All of the photos look so real, and all of the corpses are in such normal situations. There's an image of a decomposing body sitting on a bench, waiting outside a train platform. He's wearing a suit like any ordinary businessman. Another image is of a headless corpse at a dinner table, dressed in their Sunday best. They're sharing a candlelit meal. I'm guessing this was Kojiro's hobby, and that's how his hobby developed from this, isn't it? That's how this all started. Corpses going on about their daily life. It's eerily reminiscent of something else I've encountered before. Wait, was it? A book I read? Instinctively, my eyes darted to the piles of books toppled over in the corner of the storage room. There are dozens of duplicate books as if they were abandoned by their own author. I crouch and dust off the cover of the book on top of the pile. Dazed by the Dead by Noble Sinclair. So literally Kojiro was literally in love with Shizuko? Because Corpse Girl was Shizuko. That is actually really, that's a really cool plot. Climax, everything. Noble Sinclair. Underneath 10 more copies of that volume is a different book with a familiar cover. Strange Flower. I know this. They're the very same book that Kojiro lent me so long ago. Except the book here is not some worn, well-read library copy. It's in pristine condition. Save for the layer of dust coating it, there are nearly dozens of copies of this book as well. Someone intentionally abandoned these books here. And the fact that they are accompanying so many photos of corpses, not to mention Miss Corpse Girl herself, is no coincidence. These books and photos, as well as a copy of Faust's Photographie, I found here a long time ago. All of this somehow embedded itself into my consciousness and inspired me to be the sort of Corpse Girl's website. I'm sure of it. This room, this screwing cursed room, ruined my life and corrupted my mind. And I have to wonder if anybody planned it all. Did somebody leave all these things here in order to break whoever entered? That's probably a far-fetched concept, but I'm desperate to place the blame on somebody, anybody but myself.
Enough.
A light slapped at my face snaps me out of my inner ramblings. It's time to bury Corpse Girl and put this life behind me once and for all. I can't really atone for the things I've done this last year. Hell, I don't actually feel like I need to atone. It's not guilt that's eating me up inside, but at the very least, I can move on. I carefully remove the restraints tying Corpse Girl to the wall, and I feel the weight of her rotted body collapse against my own frail form. Her head leans on my shoulder, and for a brief moment I pause and let her rest against me. I run a hand through what's left of her hair. She's been through a lot. We both have. We're both Corpse Girl. Well, we both used to be. And we're just empty husks with no purpose. If we're not Corpse Girl, we'll probably be forgotten, lost to time and memory. For once in my life, I'm looking forward to being forgotten. Oh. Ooh. God, this place is boring as hell. After all this crap I've been through this year, I simply can't believe I'm still working here. If it weren't for Shinya, I probably wouldn't have bothered. I wouldn't bother coming in every day. But I want to patch things up with him. If I keep talking to him in the office, I'll crawl my way to forgiveness. Speaking of that son of a crap, here he comes now. Look at him. He walks past my desk like he doesn't even acknowledge my existence. How can he ignore me after all the time we spent together? Fucking hell. He irritates the crap out of me sometimes. I'll just have to take matters into my own hands. If he won't talk to me, I'll make him talk. I leave my desk and stride over to him. My heavy footsteps aren't exactly elegant or befitting a lady, as my mother used to always say, but I don't really give a flying crap.
Hey, what's going on?
The slurred, drawling words that drip my mouth doesn't come out of the way I want. That always seems to be the case. Everyone treats me like some dumbass crap because of the way I speak. They don't understand that it's the way somebody thinks that really matters. I can't help it if I was brought up to speak like a imbecile. Blame my father, not me.
Oh. Hello, Tomoe.
Hello yourself. What's a gal gotta do to get a conversation out of you these days?
Huh? What do you mean?
Come on. You know we don't speak like we used to.
Well, we broke up. You dumped me. What exactly do you expect from me now?
Oh, please. You know I'm sorry for that. I told you 1,000 times that breaking it off with you was the stupidest thing I've ever done. So come on. Get back together with me, will ya?
Interesting change of... Interesting change of thought for her. Okay.
Tomoe. Broke my heart.
Yeah, I know. Shinya, I really love you. I need you.
I'm not normally one to get embarrassed, but letting my feelings hang in the air between us really makes me uncomfortable.
Did you hear about my father?
Huh?
I wasn't expecting him to shrug off my confession with a swift change of topic.
He's tracked down an important member of the Human Removal Service.
Jeez, not this shit again. Can't you just let it all go?
No, I can never do that. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I could use a hand, if you're willing to assist. Having someone by my side with insider information would be rather handy.
Oh
Don't you
my
agree?
god, he's gonna get her back. He's gonna get her back into that. I'm kind of blindsided by his request. I know that he knows everything. I'd be stupid to pretend he hasn't figured it all out by now. He knows all of my involvement. Words. He knows of my involvement with Noriko. He knows that I had a hand, however indirect, in the suicide cases that of Corpse Girl planted across the city.
I'm not going to judge you for working with Noriko. If you can help me bring the greater perpetrator to justice, the head of the Human Removal Service, then I think it may have been a good thing that you did what you did.
That's so. You'd forgive me for getting involved with such stupid shit?
Yes. I'd have no choice but to forgive you.
You could just forgive her. Okay. Shinya's just...
And maybe we can even move further forward.
He's... Okay, I do realize that the story is trying to make him seem like... Okay, just like in a lot of other kind of like dark, macabre shows, media, books, etc., stories, everyone in this game has their own evils, and no one in this game is truly good, right? Everyone thinks that everyone else is good, and they want each other and stuff like that. But Shinya, I didn't expect this out of Shinya. I mean, I kind of did at the very beginnings. I kind of thought he would be kind of evil, but still. Oh no, not poor Tomoe. Not too poor. I thought she would be happy. No. I know he's just saying what I want to hear. He can be manipulative in his own way. But if there's a chance I can make up for all the crap I've done and win Shinya over again, then I have to go for it.
Right. Sign me up then, or whatever. I'll help out.
Thank you, Tomoe.
Not Tomoe, no.
I'm going to interview the individual involved with the human removal service.
Are you allowed to do that?
Of course. Father said I'm an important member of the investigation team now. I'd like you to come with me. You might be able to point out any inconsistencies in his testimony.
It's gonna be Fuku? I forgot the dude's name, the person who was dating Aoi.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I'll do my best.
Good for ya. For the first time in a long time, Shinya smiles at me.
Ah, shit, man. I told you, I don't know. Can you just leave me alone?
This guy's pathetic. Every time I open my mouth, he flinches and recoils in terror. Like he thinks I'm gonna hit him or something. Or
Listen
stab at
here,
him.
you little shit. If you don't spill the deets, my man here will crush your fat skull into dust.
Tomoe, maybe you should let me do the talking from here on out.
Whatever.
I back off and let Shinya take my place. I talked him up, so I thought he'd be pleased, but maybe I just annoyed him.
Mr. Matsumoto.
Please, just call me June. Hey, nice try, mister. I ain't your friend. You can address...
Oh, crap, sorry. He folds his arms across his chest and adopts the pouting expression of a child.
Yes. Well, as I was saying, Mr. Matsumoto, you understand why you've been brought in for questioning, yes?
Yeah, man, but, like, I'm totes innocent, you know? I don't even know nothing about the human removal service.
Your expression says otherwise. Maybe try to stop blushing.
You guys think I'm involved, but you haven't given a reason why you think that.
Shinya retrieves his small pocketed notebook from somewhere and flips through the pages. After a moment's silence, he clears his throat.
Several witnesses, plus a security camera, placed you at
A
the scene of
security
murder 2 days
camera?
ago.
Oh my god. They had a security camera? Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. They had a security camera. Wow. Guess who could have seen the security camera to find out all the murders? The police! They could have found out a long time ago, but did they? No. Of course they didn't. Good job. Great job. Oh, that is great. Perfect. Awesome. Awesome.
Now, it's apparent you weren't the culprit. However, your activities at the time of the incident were questionable at best.
Oh, what activities are you referring to,
My
Detective
chair is so
Man?
creaky.
You were cheering, and I quote, "Kill him dead. Kill him dead."
Yo, that don't sound like something I'd say. I want my lawyer. You can't detain me here.
Mr. Matsumoto, you willingly came here when we contacted you. You are not under arrest.
This is ludicrous. Ludicrous, I say.
Be that as it may, I have a few more. One witness declared that you followed the masked culprit after they fled the scene of the crime. Is there any truth to this claim?
So that's how he found Aoi. Okay.
Nah, man, like, I just needed to go the same direction, you know? I've got no idea who this Herald person you keep mentioning is.
Shinya raises an eyebrow and casts me a dark look. I just shrug.
I never mentioned the word Herald. Is that the name the culprit refers to themselves as?
Oh, this is like some detective mind trick, ain't it? I have the right to remain silent. Anything...
Crap. I've had enough of this man's insane ramblings.
Listen up!
I slam my fist against the table and send Junpei rolling back in his seat. He nearly falls off the chair, but manages to regain his
You got
balance.
2 options here. Number 1, tell us the identity of that killer, the person you called the Herald.
What's the other option?
Number 2, tell us who is really in charge of the human removal service.
His sweaty, pulsating forehead is glowing red.
I can't betray the identity of the Herald. I just can't. But the guy behind all of this? I say fuck him. I'll sell him out. If it means you'll pardon my involvement.
It's gonna be, I don't know, Shinya or Shinya's dad or something, isn't it? It's gonna be one of the characters that's been introduced. He said Guy. The only other people who have been introduced are Shinya's dad, and Momo's dad. Could be Momo's dad. He did seem okay, and he did come home late, and he was there in like the room in the dark by himself, and he didn't come out from his daughter's after his daughter's request. Something could have happened there.
Please, Mr. Matsumoto. Please give us a name.
Okay. Look. You gotta know this.
Or could we setting up a sequel?
I don't have all the deets, okay? I'm not as important as y'all think I am. But the guy running this whole thing, he's got an army of masked killers. An army of damaged chicks all going around killing and calling themselves the Herald.
And the name of this ringleader?
Like I said, I don't know everything. I don't got his full name. I only know him as N. Sinclair.
Oh my god! N. Sinclair. A foreign name. Although the first name could be Japanese, I suppose. Oh my god. It could be Kojiro. Or it could literally be N. Sinclair from like the books. Shinya is jotting the name down and confirming the correct spelling with Junpei. I find myself lost in thought lost in a thought far detached from this moment. For some strange reason, Noriko's face pops into my mind. I have a fuzzy recollection of a conversation with her, but any attempt to clarify the thought in my mind is useless.
Shinya, is the name familiar to you?
Yes.
Amazing! Shinya always surprises me.
So who is it?
Noriko Kurosawa once told me about a book she was reading. Now, please understand, I don't share the same taste in fiction as hers, so...
Yeah, I get it. Get to the point.
She used to read the most macabre, horrific stories. And she told me about one book in particular. A book about a man obsessed with corpses.
Obsessed with corpses, huh? Jeez, don't that sound familiar?
What if Kojiro is N. Sinclair? It's his anonymous name. And the reason why there were so many books in the closet was because Kojiro was the author. He was the one who did all of that. Oh my god, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh. That's why Kojiro said he would go to jail. It's because he's done really bad things. Because he is the human removal service. He got the idea first. Oh my god. Oh my god. That makes so much sense. Oh my god.
Wait, what am I saying? That does sound familiar. She told me about that book, too. Flower. Something about a flower.
Yes. Strange Flower. A book by Nobel Sinclair.
Yeah. Nobel Sinclair. N. Sinclair himself.
Jeez. You reckon that's the guy behind the human removal service?
I don't know, but it's a lead. A man obsessed with the dead. Truly despicable.
It's Kojiro. He never died in that fire, did he? That's one way to put it. Oh my gosh. I've done my time with sickos like that. Had enough of it. And I've put it all behind me.
Oh, Detective Man. Can I, go now?
Absolutely not.
Shinya turns away from the Junpei and beckons for one of the armed police officers standing guard by the other room's entrance. The officer walks over and awaits Shinya's command.
Arrest this man.
Yo, that's whack. What are you doing?
The police officer cuffs Junpei and yanks him out of his chair.
Damn. Shinya, that was cold.
It had to be done.
Junpei Matsumoto is dragged away, kicking and screaming. Silence falls upon the room after the door closes and the police officers wake.
So, what now, Detective Man?
Shinya scratches his chin, and as though wondering why I would call him that.
Our next
But he
step
doesn't
is to
voice
track
the
down the
reason.
author, Nobel Sinclair.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he's our culprit, maybe not. Either way, we won't know until we talk to him.
It's Kojiro, isn't it?
Right on.
He died off screen.
And
He didn't die. Same thing happened with Noriko. She died, quote-unquote, off screen because they didn't show any dead corpses for Noriko. And she's alive. That means Kojiro is probably alive too, isn't he? And what if Kojiro killed Aoi for killing Noriko? And
what about...
Shinya interrupts me with a sudden soft kiss on the lips. I close my eyes and lean into him, letting his warmth envelop me.
Shinya,
I couldn't have done this without you, Tomoe. And I wouldn't be the man I am today had it not been for you. So, thank you.
does this mean you want to be with me again?
Yes. If you'll have me.
My heart swells, and with this confirmation, I've never been so happy.
Shinya, of course!
He kisses me again, and fear I had of losing him instantly washes away. I can't words, I'm sorry. I won't screw it up this time. I'll keep him close to me and protect him forever. I reluctantly break away from his embrace and hold his chin delicately in my fingers. Once again, this is a very similar relationship to all the other relationships in this game. It's drawing that parallel again. No one is truly good, and everything is very similar, at least in this world, and in this game world that they've created.
Let's go find this Nobel Sinclair fucker.
Also, interestingly, Noriko was slightly transparent, and now she's completely whole after the detective man himself accepted her. Interesting.
Yes. Let's find him and bring him to justice.
Justice man! Something tells me that Shina's gonna start pumping iron and kill people. False ending? Okay. 3 months later. Aoi and I used to always dream about getting away, breaking away from all the stress and tension from our everyday world. She dreamt of going somewhere cold for a winter getaway, somewhere she could snuggle up by a warm fireplace and drink hot cocoa and feel at peace. I told her I'd visit a sunny holiday destination. But I don't know why I said that back then. It was a lie. I hated the sun. The harsh light and warmth always used to leave my skin feeling prickly and scorched. However, things have changed through no plans of my own. For some reason, leaving behind the life of Corpse Girl helped me appreciate a few of the little things in life. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just happy I survived. Maybe I'm just glad that I don't have to keep living in the accursed apartment. I haven't fully recovered from the stab wounds Aoi inflicted upon me. I haven't fully recovered from the scars she left in my heart. I don't think I ever will be 100% healthy again. My doctor says these things take time, but maybe a slight limp and dull ache in my gut from time to time is a small price to pay for my life. I made the decision a few weeks ago to attempt a beachside vacation. It went well. Pale, ghostly Noriko Kurosawa sat on a beach and attempted to get a tan. I did it for myself, not out of some misguided notion that I should live out a dream vacation for Aoi's sake. Aoi can go to her own damn vacation whenever she wants. It's not like she's limping around with a cane and a serpentine scar across her beautiful skin. Hey, the scar makes you, just that much more special and beautiful. It's not like she had to struggle against the entire world just to get on an airplane. The beach was gorgeous. The water was pristine. I'd never seen anything like that in all my life, but those moments of sunshine and relaxation were fleeting. Sitting alone now in this empty apartment makes that painfully clear. I had to return to Tokyo eventually. It was inevitable, but it feels like there's nothing here for me anymore. Maybe I'll move once more, go to Osaka or Nagoya. No one in Tokyo for me. Aoi, Kojiro, they're either dead or dead to me. Tomoe doesn't call me, doesn't answer her messages. Shinya, nothing, no one in Tokyo for me. Wait, did she say something about Shinya? 1 second. No, Shinya just stood blank, okay. My eyelids gently close, and the sweet embrace of sleep takes over me. Okay. I decided to go for a walk to clear my head. But after returning to my new apartment building, I somehow forget my apartment number. I've only just moved in after all.
Shit. How could I forget something so important?
I wander around the cold hallways, try to locate my place. 238, 248, which one was it? Completely lost, I decided to turn around and search in the opposite direction. As I turn, the slightly open door catches my attention. Why would anyone leave their door open? Anyone could walk into your apartment and steal your belongings. This thought quickly scampers off as I find myself pushing the door ever so gently. Noriko's gonna become one of Kojiro's dolls, isn't she? Corpse dolls. It swings open slowly, revealing a room lit only by the flickering light of a television.
Hello? You left your door open.
It's Kojiro's room.
Is anyone in there?
And she's going to see the corpse in his thing again. She's gonna start. Oh no. It's gonna repeat everything, isn't it? As she's gonna see the corpse in his closet. My timid voice sounds unfamiliar to my own ears. I realize that I've rarely spoken in the last few days, save for the occasional pleasantry exchange with the staff from the moving company. When no one answers from within the room is forthcoming, I take a careful step inside. No sounds come from the television in the corner. It has been muted, but the screen has been left on for some reason. My eyes strain to peer into the darkness, into the near darkness. Once my eyes finally decipher the scene before me, I realize that I'll never be able to delete the vision that has plagued me for most of my life. Oh. My mother hangs from the ceiling, a rope coiled around her neck like a boa constrictor. Her mouth is agape, a half smile, half scream upon her lips. Her eyes are vacant and stained black in the filthy muck of regret, and her legs dangle helplessly, unable to secure a foothold upon the chair that has fallen to the ground. Kojiro recreated the image, didn't he? The chair that I kicked out from underneath her while I laughed and laughed along with Yuriko. A thick clump of bile bubbles up within my throat, and it takes all of my strength to resist kneeling over and vomiting. The body hanging above me, the soulless corpse peering down at me. That's not my mother. That's not... This person, this nameless woman, she has been dead for at least hours. I did not kick the chair from under her. Yuriko isn't here laughing alongside me. I'm here alone. The woman isn't struggling, she isn't pleading for help or forgiveness. She isn't cursing her stupid namesake. She is gone. Just gone. Her soul has departed from whatever afterlife awaits us once we leave this purgatory. She is nothing more than a hanging corpse, nothing more than a sack of flesh and bone. The disgusting urge to throw up begins to ebb away as I stare up at the ceiling. The light of the television illuminates the corpse's face briefly, revealing the skin gently kissed by the light freckles and the eyes creased with soft wrinkles. She's older than me, perhaps by a decade, but she is by no means less beautiful than I am. Her hair is long and soft, and I get a certain urge to brush it. But brush it aside, to sweep it away from her eyes and tell her everything is going to be okay. Before I can even understand it, I'm standing upon the bed in the order to reach up the ceiling. I rest one hand lightly on her shoulder, then go ahead and brush some of those stray locks from her eyes with my fingers. If I look past those empty eyes, those eyes that stare at me and see everything that I am. If I look past them, I see a truly gorgeous woman before me. I'm utterly entranced by her. I rest my cheeks against hers, her skin still surprisingly warm. Perhaps she did not perish a long time ago, as I initially assumed.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why I say those words. Maybe it's guilt? Guilt. I caused a lot of people to end up like her, forced them to end their own lives out of fear or distress or desperation. No, that's wrong. I'm not guilty of those things. Corpse Girl is the one responsible. It's not my fault those people died. I wasn't myself. Regardless, to think that I helped Corpse Girl destroy so much beauty makes me feel ill.
What's your name?
The corpse doesn't answer.
A silent type, hey? That's okay. It's kind of cute.
Oh no.
My name's Noriko.
Oh no.
Are you hungry? Can I treat you to a meal?
No reply.
Shh, it's okay. Come on, let's get you dressed. I'll put you in something nice. It's warm outside, so how about a light dress?
Nothing. It takes some time to unloop the rope from her neck and return her to the door safely. Return her to the floor safely. Some part of my subconscious knows exactly how to move her carefully, to dress her, to apply her makeup and bring out her inner beauty. I can't recall if I've done something like this before. Have I taken a corpse out to dinner before? I can't recall if I just read about it in a book or if I've experienced a similar situation. Just because she's dead doesn't mean that I shouldn't treat her that I shouldn't treat her right. Just because she's dead doesn't mean that she's not beautiful and worthy of my love. After a bit of time, my gorgeous friend is dressed to impress. We're ready to go out for dinner. She's not very talkative, so I'll place her order and keep this conversation going. People might look at us, they might stare or even judge us, but we'll be okay. We're two beautiful young women simply enjoying each other's company. She'll sort of decay soon, like a strange flower wilting moments before taken out of water. As for me, I think I've been decaying for a long time. I hope this nameless corpse girl can help me feel alive again. She offers me a slight smile as I take her hand away and lead her out of the building, blinding lights of the hallway. I blush. Noriko was never whole without a corpse girl, was she? 1 year later, okay. The book is almost warm in my hand. It's a pristine volume, fresh off the printing press. Paperback, though, I would have preferred hardback. Been a while since I last published a book. Years. The few fans I probably thought I disappeared off the face of the planet. I did in a way. Not my fault. Death is death. Noble Sinclair died in a fire inside his family home. That was a long time ago. Even though my name burned to ash, my body survived. Had to pick up a new name after that. Can't wander this planet without one. In his family home. The morgue was the family home. Okay. This body went on living for quite a while with a new name. I even grew to like it. Then the strangest thing. Oh no, wait, Nobel Sinclair was the real name of Kojiro. And after his family died in a fire, as he mentioned, he then chose the name Kojiro to change his life, or change himself. Just like Aoi was doing with Noriko. The parallel this game is drawing was really cool. Well done with that. Under the fire inside a morgue, this time the new name went up in flames. My body survived. Again. Fate? Don't know. Felt a bit lost after that. Felt a bit unlike everybody. I decided to pick up an old name. I decided to pick the old name back up. Dusted it off, pinned it on my chest. Nobel Sinclair. It always suited me. Mother gave it to me, after all. This time, I didn't want to completely disregard my existence. The time spent was another man. Too much happened. I've got too much to tell, too many tales to keep to myself. So this new book tells the entire story, from start to end. It wasn't easy typing page after page with only one arm. One of the most taxing and challenging things I've ever attempted. But now, it's done. Soon this new volume will hit store shelves across the country. The world will know everything. I used pseudonyms throughout the book to protect the identities of the guilty. They didn't print Noriko Kurosawa's real name even once. Didn't identify Junpei Matsumoto or Aoi Sato. Didn't call Tomei Watanabe or even that wannabe detective that always chases me, Shinya Fujikawa. And most importantly, I didn't print my previous name. Not that name anyway. I confessed a lot of things with this text. I even confessed my involvement with the Human Removal Service. Getting caught up in that organization's web of death wasn't something I ever intended to do. It wasn't something Kojiro would have ever done, but it was necessary. necessary in order to finish this latest book. So in a way, Noriko was a herald of death herself. So, damn. Nobel Sinclair rose through the ranks of the Shadow Society within mere weeks. Chalk it up to his or my macabre experiences. Couldn't have done it without the connections I formed as Kojiro. Couldn't have done it without any of him. I'm at the top of the ladder now, so to speak. Got a bunch of killers on my payroll. Even the dog Junpei's under my leash now. Don't know where I'll go from here. Original plan was to shut down the human removal service down, delete its existence as a final act of love for Noriko. But the power is nice. The power is intoxicating. Again, Kojiro wouldn't have toyed around with something like this. I'm not Kojiro. I look over the book in my hand once more. It's heavy, full of words that carry more weight than they should. Whether people believe the content of this book is out of my control. But those with a keen intellect will surely be able to piece the truth together. My eyes scan the cover and read over the large embossed letters. Corpse Factory, a novel by Nobel Sinclair. I've never been more proud of my work. Okay. There you go. That is the whole game. Oh, Crow Factory. Let me check the endings first. I want to go through all the endings and everything first because why not? Which ending would you like to view? Oh, I got ending B. I got the bonus ending as well. Ending A, true. Noriko Kurosawa. So this is the true ending for Noriko Kurosawa. So what I got was a false ending. So let's check out the true ending for this. Sometimes on dark and overcast days, I can feel a cold bite of steel inside my gut. It's a phantom sensation that flickers and dissipates within moments. My doctor says it's nothing to be concerned about, but that doesn't prove me from pulling my clothes aside to examine the skin underneath. The sight of the scar does little to comfort me. I don't think I should have survived this injury. I don't think I should have walked away after regaining consciousness. But somehow I survived that encounter with Aoi. In the darkest recesses of my memory, I can vaguely recall the warmth of the strong arms carrying me from the factory. Carrying me to safety. There you go. Kojiro probably carried her to safety. Somebody saved me on that fateful day, but I don't know who. Or Tomoe probably, or Shinya. Regardless, I owe them my life, my new life, a life that is actually worth something. A life that doesn't consist of skulking in the shadows and pretending to be a beautiful corpse. I look down at the empty plate before me and smile. I'm still not accustomed to the sight of finishing a meal, but I'm slowly learning to love it. My stomach feels full, truly full. Not just full enough like I used to force myself to believe. I put on 4 pounds recently. 4 good, healthy pounds. My cheeks glow with vitality, and my skin is no longer the sickly color of ghastly flesh. The waiters in the restaurant are probably getting sick of me seeing me in here every other day, but I don't mind. I eat well here, and I've learned to cook at home too. Tomoe of all people taught me how to prepare dinner. I never expected to study the culinary arts under someone like her. But she has a knack for bringing out the flavor in food. She says she picked up a few things from the years of caring for her kids' siblings. And I'm learning a lot more with someone like her. I push my plate to the side and take a sip of water. So I'm assuming you get the different endings based on the choices that you make. So maybe if you were friendly to Noriko at the very beginning, she doesn't kill you properly or something? I don't know. Something like that, maybe. Sounds like that. I push my plate to the side and take a sip of water. Time to pay the bills and get going. There are things to do tonight after all. Okay. Oh? Months have passed since the last time I set foot on these cursed grounds. The wafting stench of decay invades my nostrils and threatens to make me spill my contents of my stomach on the asphalt. It's a stench that I was once completely accustomed to. Now it's a sickening reminder of the person I used to be not so long ago. I didn't want to come here again. I didn't want to come here ever. Yet here I am. Call it a hunch or a premonition or just a bad feeling, but some part of my mind urged me to visit this place after receiving a strange text message this morning. A text message that seemed both alien and familiar to me at the same time. A solitary word decorated the contents of the message. Goodbye. But what drew my attention was the image attachment. A photo of a young woman. A young woman bent over backwards, her face obscured by matted hair and blood, her chest exploding open from the inside. The young woman in the photo was me. It was the image of my own corpse. The craftsmanship was excellent. The cadaver used to replicate my body looked just like me. My first assumption was the Human Removal Service sent this photo to me, but upon the moment of deliberation, that didn't seem to be the case. The Human Removal Service's activity has declined rapidly as of late. The number of murders or suicides, depending on how you look at it, across Tokyo have decelerated so quickly that it's almost as if the Human Removal Service never existed at all. Besides, the organization had a particular trademark when sending out doctored corpse photos. They would include instructions with the message, instructions for the victim to follow, usually involving the murder of another victim. The message I simply received said goodbye. My corpse photo feels personal. It's Aoi, isn't it? It's typical of the work I used to perform. It's almost as if somebody took over the identity of Corpse Girl, the role that I once filled. That's crazy, isn't it? I take a deep breath and stride towards the factory entrance. Okay. I almost choke as I breathe in the thick air. The stench of death hangs like little smoke inside the factory. This place looks like just as it did when I was last here. The notable exception are the fresh cadavers displayed here and there upon the warehouse racks. Somebody's living here. Somebody's continuing Corpse Girl's work. And somebody thought it'd be wise to target me as a victim. Me, Noriko Kurosawa. Somebody made a fatal mistake. Animalistic instincts rises within me as my legs move to purpose. My feet claw at the damaged concrete ground with every step. I'll kill a new Corpse Girl, I'll kill her and bury her. Enough is enough. I'll end the cycle of death that I started so long ago.
Hello? Who are you?
A meek voice slinks through the darkness, tugging aside the veil of silence ever so gently. I concentrate hard in order to identify the direction it came from. If I'm taken off guard even for just a second, it may be my end. My left. The voice came from my left. I spin on my one heel and immediately feel the bile rise to my throat.
May I help you with something?
Oh, no, Noriko Aoi. That's what I'm gonna call you. Naoi.
What the fuck is this?
Does she still have the blood on her? She does not have the blood on her.
My name is Noriko. Noriko Kurosawa. It's nice to meet you. What's your name? Aoi? Is that you?
I feel like I'm looking into a twisted mirror. The girl before me is not me, and yet...
Are you here to buy a corpse? I have plenty on display. You can browse as much as you like. But that one on the end of the rack is reserved. Sorry.
She runs her grimy hands through her unwashed hair and scratches her scalp violently. A fleck of spittle drips from her lower lip as her eyes glaze over. This is Aoi Sato. Despite the hair and the makeup and the clothes and my old clothes, her voice is the same as I remember.
Aoi, knock it off. Who
Crap.
is Aoi? Is that your name? Well, it's nice to meet you, Aoi. My name is Noriko.
A moment of clarity brings immediate understanding. Just like I was torn between my own identity of that of Corpse Girl, Aoi has become me. Aoi has become me. But her transformation has been kind to her, and in recognition of her previous self has vanished. She doesn't even know her real name. After everything I've been through, I should be more forgiving to someone who's struggling with their identity. I should be understanding and sympathetic. Aoi, Noriko gasps for air as my fingers clench on her throat. I ram my knee into her stomach and smash her into the warehouse rackings, causing several stiff cadavers to crash into the ground around us.
Stop!
Aoi has lost herself. She has discarded all remnants of who she once was. I'm fine with that. I can almost relate to it. But I am Noriko Kurosawa. I have reclaimed my true self and I won't let her become me. I am Noriko Kurosawa. And this bitch that has stabbed me and left me for dead will not take my life away from me.
Die! Die!
Oh, is old Noriko coming back? I press Aoi against the steel rack and feel something within her frail body either bend or break. Her dull, tired eyes begin to droop, and the hands scratching at my wrist suddenly give up the fight. I realize I'm panting heavily as I clutch her neck. Her own ragged breathing synchronizes with mine, as if we're almost one same person. No! She's not me!
You are not me!
I scream and feel my fingernails puncture her skin. My fingers pierce her neck and drill into her flesh, stopping only when they clasp tightly around her spinal column. With all the strength I can pull from me, I twist my arm and throw Aoi to the blood-splattered concrete. She hits the ground unceremoniously, her lightweight body barely making a sound as her vacant dead eyes stare up at the cracked ceiling. I never imagined I'd have to dig up this grave for a second time. When I buried Corpse Girl in the gardens below our former apartment, I didn't predict I'd have to see her again so soon. But here she is, still rotten and miserable. I thought her burial was gonna was gonna be the end of it all, a symbolic gesture to help me leave behind the person I had become. It was a way to reclaim my former self and bury the past. Corpse Girl doesn't say anything when she sees me lift the dirt from her resting place. She doesn't give any indication that she even notices my presence. Fine, be that way. I couldn't care less.
I've brought a friend for you.
Uh-huh.
Someone to keep you company.
Oh, God. With a great deal of effort, I hauled the body of Aoi, into the narrow pit and let it collapse beside Corpse Girl. The girl in my old clothes seems to cuddle up to her new companion. It's almost fitting that the person who tried to become me should rest eternally beside the person I tried to become. I think I can rest knowing that they're both in the ground. I think nothing further can prevent me from being Noriko.
Suppose I should say a few words.
No! Just bury them and walk away.
You were my best friend, Aoi.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I'm sorry that I only ever wanted to save myself. I hope that you at least found some happiness by becoming me. Goodbye.
I clutched a small shovel in my hands and begin to fill in the makeshift grave. Dirt and rocks pile into the pit slowly. I mistake the faint howl of the wind as a final moan from the girl I once knew as Aoi. Oh. Covered in dirt and grime and blood and muck and God knows what else, I collapsed onto the floor in my new apartment. I'm very fortunate I managed to find this place someone moved out of in a hurry. And I was able to move right in without just the first month's rent paid up front. I don't know if I'll be able to afford the next month's payment, but I'll face that challenge when it arrives. For now, everything is finally over. I should shower or bathe or at least scrub the filth from my skin, but I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. This is the price of being Noriko Kurosawa. I roll over onto my side and grab my phone, slowly bringing it to my eye level. An involuntary frown masks the dirt-encrusted face when I notice the icon for one missed call on my screen. An unknown number. A short message tells me that the caller left a voicemail. I don't know who would have called me at such a late hour. I close my eyes and let the voicemail play.
Hey. Bit late. Sauce. We should talk. Call me?
Alright. So that's that. And we got the false ending. And we got the bonus ending and the epilogue. So let's go for the hell ending. Why not? Let's do it. Noriko Kurosawa. Alright, here we go. 3 months later.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
Oh. I make a quick apologetic bow to my coworkers before hurrying over to my desk. No one seems to be bothered about my tardiness. A few people offer a raised eyebrow, but they quickly return to their own work. I take a seat at my workstation and switch my computer on. It whirs to a life as I organize my belongings. From my handbag, I retrieve some key items. First is my canned coffee, still ice cold thanks to the convenience store's powerful refrigeration. Second is my headphones. I can't complete a day of tedious data entry without listening to music. Last but not least is my phone. The screen is a little cracked and the protective case has seen better days, but it's invaluable to me. Something feels slightly off as I look at the screen. There's a nagging feeling, some small voice telling me that this isn't my phone, but I know it's mine. The familiar red case and the spiderweb fractures inching across the glass. It's my phone. No doubt about it. Pushing the strained thought away from my mind, I turn my attention to the computer. It doesn't take long to read over the day's list of easy tasks. I'll be continuing what I started yesterday. Easy.
Noriko?
I'm startled by the sudden vocalization of my name. I don't know why people I don't know why people call me by my name every day. Don't they?
Oh, hello, Fujikawa.
Shinya Fujikawa is standing at my desk, just scratching his cheeks awkwardly. I get the feeling he wants to approach a topic of conversation that makes him nervous.
I wanted to apologize. I haven't been present in the office of late. Was there anything you needed to discuss with me during my absence?
Maybe she's imagining this conversation just as much as she's imagining herself being Noriko. So maybe this isn't actually what Shinya is saying. Probably, right? Because there's no way she would there's no way Shinya would just accept Aoi looking like Noriko, right? I think about the question. Shinya and I don't really talk on a day-to-day basis. His work is fairly unrelated to mine. I'm just a data entry temp after all. But we do have a history together, I suppose. We went to school together after all. We were never exactly friends, actually. I always kind of had the feeling he had a crush on me, but he's not really the type of a guy to make confession. Wouldn't you know? Huh, you'd be surprised. Aoi always used to joke about how he and I would make a cute couple, but I could never see it. He was and still is far too dull for my tastes. Aoi. Why does that name sound so distant? I try to put a face into the name, but my mind draws a blank. She was my best friend, and yet...
Noriko?
Oh, sorry. I get lost in my own head sometimes.
Yes, I see. Well, if there's nothing you need, then I'll be on my way.
Okay, then.
Say, your old friend, Aoi Sato, have you heard from her lately?
No. Actually, I feel like something must have happened to her. We haven't spoken in... God knows how long.
Is that so? That's too bad.
I find it odd that he leaves the conversation with those last words. He simply walks away from the desk. My phone cries out. The unfamiliar ringtone, one that I never selected, splits my head wide open and prompts my brain to spill out between the cracks in my skull. I squeeze the sludgy gray matter back into my head and blink a few times and realize that my brain is not actually leaking. Just a trick of light? Okay. I struggle to maintain eye contact with the screen. The caller ID flashes across the device, identifying the caller as Noriko. Me. My own name. Myself. Noriko is calling me. I'm calling myself? A dull ache still throbs within my head, though it has been recently emptied. I answer the call. Okay, it's all in her head, okay.
Hello?
I hear a sharp inhalation of breath, and then the call cuts out. It takes a few seconds for me to realize I'm crying. Shinya is at my side, his arm around my shoulders, and within seconds, the rest of my co-workers are staring at me. I'm on the floor, my face nestled with the plush office carpet, but I don't know how I got there. I'm supposed to be stoic, unflinching. That's my ideology, but my entire identity. So much for a stoic, unflinching Noriko. Remember stoic, unflinching Noriko? Maybe if I just close my eyes, I can make everything return to normal and start this day over again. The stairs upwards feel particularly difficult to climb today. It was rather a strange day at the office, but I know that returning home to my family will make me feel better. Shinya told me that the train station and waited. Took me to the train station and waited until I boarded my train. It was really sweet of him. I don't fully recall the things he said to me. He might have mentioned something about not needing to return to the office anymore. Maybe all my work there is completed? My head is still a bit fuzzy, but I sift through all the details after a hot shower late tonight. Since the sun is beginning to go down, I think the others should be home by now. Yuriko is probably relaxing. Yuriko is probably relaxing on the sofa, and Mother should definitely be there, since she doesn't leave the apartment these days. I unlocked the apartment door and wandered inside. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I'm home.
Spinning through the open door is always a comforting feeling. It's good to return after a long day at work.
There you are. Good evening, big sis. Good evening, Mom.
Yuriko offers me her warm smile. She's changed a lot. Recently, her foul, rebellious attitude has disappeared when she moved in. Maybe she simply wanted her family to be reunited again. Maybe her delinquency was all just an act, a way of trying to deny what she really wanted, to simply return home. Mother, on the other hand, doesn't really regard my entrance, but that's nothing to be concerned about. She's always distant and aloof.
Shall we order in tonight? I'm thinking some pizza would be delicious.
Yuriko nods. The act causes a small clump of her hair to detach and flutter to the floor. I'm looking forward to a quiet night with my family and some pizza. I never had the opportunity to enjoy these moments when I was growing up. In those days, I was simply grateful for the nights I could go to bed without a new bruise or gash to cover up. Mother used to kick and slap me, but hang on. I look at her now, slumped on the couch, completely lost in her own world. That's not the mother that used to abuse me. That's not the father. What did she say? That's not the mother that was married to my father. And you could never used to stand up for me, but that's because Yuriko was never there when I was growing up. Where was she? I shut my eyes, trying to sift through the confusing fragments of memories swirling through my head. She's not my mother. This woman before me. She's Noriko's mother. That's it. That's how I know her. Wait. Of course she's my mother. I'm Noriko, duh. How could I forget something so simple? Yuriko was there when I was growing up. The reason she never stood up to me is because no one ever abused me. God, I don't know why I get so confused and frazzled like this sometimes. I smile at my loving family and clap my hands together.
Okay, I'm going to order dinner. Is everyone happy with barbecue pizza?
Yuriko nods and Mother lets out a quiet snore of approval. I whip my phone up to eye level and open up the food delivery app. I notice that my battery has only 8% left. I should charge it up before it dies on me. I keep a charger here in the living room. It only takes me a second to waltz over to the wall socket. As I lean down to grab the charger, I see another phone is already plugged in. Another phone? The case is blue and the screen doesn't have a trace of damage on it. Whose phone is this? I nervously tap on the screen and see a list of noise notifications. There are a lot of messages from someone named Junpei. Junpei, it's a name that doesn't ring a bell. I check to see if the phone is unlocked by pressing my thumb against the home button. Strangely, my fingerprint unlocks the phone instantly. My fingerprint? But this isn't my phone. This can't be my phone. The messages from Junpei all open in quick succession. Babe, good news, how are you? Waiting for you. Coffee today? Are you mad at me? Talk to me, my witchy boyfriend. I miss you. Did I do something wrong? The splitting sensation inside my skull returns as my eyes devour the contents of the never-ending string of messages. I feel like I know this person, but I can't picture a face. I can't picture any scenario in which we ever have met or spent time together. Why does he speak to me in such a familiar way? Wait, he's not speaking to me. Of course, this isn't my phone, so these messages were never intended for me. I threw my phone aside, happy to have broken free from my concern. It doesn't matter who the phone belongs to, it's not mine, so I don't have to deal with it. I plug my own phone into the charger. I feel relieved as I watch the battery icon slowly fill up.
Okay, Mom, Yuriko, I'm going to go take a shower while my phone charges. I'll order dinner after that. I promise.
They would agree with you, if they could agree.
Thank you for being patient.
Like for the YouTube dislike button, they don't exist. Ha ha ha. For the first time in a while, Mother actually responds to my voice. Oh.
Noriko?
Her head lifts slightly and she regards me with her dull eyes.
Mom? Where am I? You're not Noriko.
A bead of sweat forms on my forehead, and a shiver crawls slowly down my spine like a spider. Her firm accusatory tone immediately chills me to the bone.
Of course it's me, Mom. It's me, Noriko.
No. You're... Where am...
Panic settles on her delirious face. I don't exactly blame her for being scared and confused. She's been in a near vegetative state ever since her attempted suicide. But for her to recognize me, for her to forget what her own daughter looks like, that's inexcusable, unforgivable. I'm Noriko, damn it. I fall to my knees. The splitting, throbbing, aching pain in my skull reaches a crescendo, threatening to blow my brains out across the living room.
I'm Noriko! Noriko Kurosawa! Look at me, Mom! Look at me!
Mother's eyes widen as she looks like she's gonna vomit. She turns to see Yuriko, white and ghastly in the seat next to me, and her tears form in her eye.
What have you done? What is this?
Just shut up! Just shut up and be a part of my perfect family! Look at us! All three of us! We're the Kurosawa family, and we're finally back together! We're happy, right? We're happy.
Still on my knees, I slowly lower my head on the ground and let it rest on the soft carpet. I barely register the sound of the door opening behind me slowly. After the creaking hinges come to a rest, a strong voice floods my ears.
Yo, Harold.
Oh.
You're Noriko no longer. Got work for you.
The source of the voice wanders towards me and towers above my face down form. He said I'm no longer Noriko. Can my identity just slip away so easily? Can it vanish into thin air like it was never truly a part of me?
No. I will always be. I am Noriko!
I leap to my feet and launch myself at the man who dared to enter my apartment and tell me that I'm not truly who I want to be. I barely catch a glimpse of his face before he pummels me in the nose with a broad fist. I'm on the floor again in an instant. The dizzying lights above me spinning in my blurred vision.
Get your things. We're cleaning up after Corpse Girl's mess.
Oh. Interesting. So those are all the endings. So I think all these endings are actually probably real, right? It probably happened. So that is immediately after Noriko, heals. This is after she moves and stays there for like some time, like after a vacation. And this is in between those two times, or probably even before that. And these are during and after that. So that's interesting. That is interesting. That is really interesting. Okay. I want to see what Crow Factory is, and then we're finally done with Corpse Factory. Noriko Kurosawa. It's gonna be the one with the crow, the crow picture in the face, yeah. I've always liked the shape of my wings, caw. I can be critical about the other parts of my body, but I'll never complain about my wings, caw. With or without feathers, I think they look great, caw, caw. Mother used to tell me if I inherited her wings, and my big sister inherited father's wings. To be honest, I don't see any of my father's features in myself or my sister, caw. But I do agree that my wings are excellent replicas of mother's. So this is when she's completely deluded herself, probably. Mother doesn't fly too well anymore, but that might be something I have to also worry about in the future. But for now, they're perfect, caw, and I couldn't be happier with them. Today's morning ritual is the same as any other workday. I'm a slave to shiny things, and I'm not proud of it. Caw, caw. Call me a corporate sellout, but I can't survive without the shiny things. That's the cost of being me. Noriko Kurosawa, caw. My alarm goes off at 6 a.m. The early bird catches the worm after all, caw. Let's get breakfast because I don't want to get my beak dirty by digging in the dirt. I'm out of my cramped nest by 6:45 a.m., caw. Interesting. The static drone of workspace noise fills my ear holes. Chirping ring, fingernail feathers, tapping Geiger's keyboard, photocopiers, even the steady low hum of the day air conditioner contributes over the overall din caw. Before I can take a deep step forward towards my desk, a mocking trill whispers behind me. Chrome away. Chrome away. You look like a bird. Scree. Looks like you've been sleeping in a tree. Susia Scree. I don't know what she's talking about. I can't really focus on what she's saying. You know, I'm talking here. It's rude to ignore the eldest bird in the nest. Scree. I swallow in an attempt to moisten my parched throat before speaking in a cracked voice. Do you need something? Caw, caw. Now I'm done with you, you skank Scree. Chromoe turns tail. Chromoe, not Chrome-OS, turns and walks away. Oh no. I sigh and sit down in my office chair. Why do I feel so exhausted, Caw? I need to calm down and focus on my Crow Girl's work. Oh, this is great. I kind of things like exhaustion or anxiety get in my way. Okay, so I get this. So it's basically just Noriko, but in crow form, where she's completely deluded herself and, you know, lost all of her mind, and she's thinking of herself as a crow. Got it. So it's basically just Noriko and Crojiro. Oh, this is great. Oh, it's hilarious. If anyone knows Japanese, translate that for me. Comment down below. Not that anyone's gonna watch this video for this long, but holy crap, that's freaking hilarious. Anyways, I get this. You know, it's basically the same story, but you know, in crow form. I want to go through this really quickly and see what happens. There was a large name in the thing. I didn't really know it. Is it in the... Oh, okay. What will become of Crow Girl? Who will stop Crokyo City from being overrun by bird jokes? Should I even have created this abomination of a mini game? Caw! Thanks for playing. Alright. Well, that's the whole game. And I gotta say, it was a journey, and it was a great journey. I absolutely love the parallels that in the story. It's very similar to The Boys TV show, if anyone watches that, where no one is really good. They are all their own person and bad in their own way. And it really shows parallels between every single person who are similar, want the same things, and everything. I think that was all great. The only thing I feel like it's lacking was that it needed more time to develop the characters more. Because a lot of this is shown in a very kind of like expositional way, rather than being naturally told, like through the story to the person. Like the player should be the one experiencing the story that's going on. They should be experiencing the life of the character that they're playing. And I feel like it kind of like jumps a little bit all over the place with the time jumps and the character jumps, because Noriko is supposed to be the main character. So I feel like it should have gone kind of like the Percy Jackson books, where it goes from like Noriko to Kojiro, then back to Noriko, and then to Aoi, then back to Noriko, keeping concentration on Noriko. But I think it was absolutely great how the parallels were drawn, how everything was connected. That was amazing. That really was. But again, I think the game really suffers from being able to experience the characters themselves. For like example, the whole closet thing at the very end, that was almost came out of nowhere. If Kojiro hadn't like shown that small little closet part, no one would have connected those two things. And I really feel like that should have been slowly introduced, you know. And we should have seen we should have seen Noriko before and after she's become delusional, or maybe show the delusion slowly happening to her, because that would have made so much more sense rather than the time skip and exposition and everything, even though it was still well done, you know, for what it was. But that is understandable, because both time and money are literal limiting factors for games, and you gotta do what you gotta do. So I don't know, I feel like there were better ways to go with the story, and by making it a little longer and going through the characters a bit more. But for what it is, that was great. That was really great. I still absolutely love all the connections and twists at the very end. I kind of feel like way too much happened towards the end for twists and stuff. So I feel like it should have been kind of like separated into the story a bit more, because there was no indication of Corpse Girl being an actual corpse this whole time. until the very like last couple of hours, and it's like a 15-hour long game. So it's in the last 1/5 of the game, which you kind of wanted there to be a connection to the very start, which I think there was with Kojiro. I can't remember what it was, but I think it was something to do with like the books or something like that. But it was really interesting how Kojiro had like a different name and stuff like that. But again, I feel like if you knew more about his family being burned and him maybe alluding to Kojiro not being his real name, things like that, knowing a little bit more about the past, which then puts those characters as like suspicious, or I mean, not everything seems like everything is as it is. Yeah, I think that would have been really, really cool. But for the game being what it is absolutely very, very great. Also wish there was like 1 or 2 more soundtracks. I feel like it's very, very monotone in the soundtrack department. Though I do like the bass sound, bass OST. I think it maybe needed like 1 or 2 for different kind of moods. Either way, this is me being a bit critical there. I think this is an absolutely great story to go through. I loved this session of playing it. This past 3 hours have been great, going through everything, going through the endings and everything. I think I got pretty much all the other galleries. Yeah, I got everything. I thought I missed one image in between, but I guess not. I might be missing something from here, but that's awesome. I got everything else, and that's really, really cool. So that being said, after about months of playing this game, we're gonna finally end it. Thank you for going on this journey with me. I know this game does mean quite a bit to a couple of people who watched it completely, and I just want to say thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have, and it's just been absolutely super fun. This has probably been my favorite part of the story so far, and the prologue. All those connections and everything happening was great. And with that beep in the background, I'm gonna say goodbye for now. It was just great. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And if you want to watch more of my stuff, links down below. If you made it through 3 hours of content, but yeah, take care and corpse bye.